That was two really scary moments for me.
I was part of two of them, but similar thing. Locked them up on a hill on wet grass, started to spin. Was one. My brother-in-law, Larry, I bailed. I was driving, and I thought it was going to, like you, I thought it was going to tip, and I thought the best thing to do was to jump out, and I did, and my momentum carried me down the hill. Larry ended up backwards from the passenger seat, steering down the hill. It was an amazing feat. And the other one, I told the story about my daughter driving it into the marsh at number 12 at Hidden River. Those guys were very gracious. She was a young kid, and it was bad. But anyway, I mean, this is a tragic story. And they say that Elway, who was driving the cart, did nothing. He wasn't driving erratically at all. The details are still coming out. Certainly don't want to speculate, but if he just slipped and fell, I mean.
So he was riding on the back of it?
He was riding on the back. Now, was it a golf cart where he like standing where the clubs usually are?
Or is it a backwards facing bench seat?
There are some bench seats on those. Jimmy, our boss, this is one to be leery of if you're a golfer. How many people, when they're riding in the golf cart driving, have their foot hanging out?
No, I don't do that.
Because Jimmy, our boss, said he had a friend that was driving his golf cart. So he's got his left foot just kind of hanging out. And along the cart path, there were railroad tiles lined up between the cart path and the grass. And his foot clipped one of those and snapped his leg.
Oh.
Yep.
Warning Gator graphic. What are we
so
doing?
I never hang my foot out.
No, I don't do that.
But the other one, did you see the fan at the Pirates game last night?
Yes, I read about this one too. That at some point there's a double in the game, and a fan falls over in right field, and the Clemente corner there. It's 21 feet high because of the number 21 that he wore. Fell down and landed on the warning track, and in critical condition. I didn't want to see that. I didn't see it. I saw a picture of him being attended to, but I didn't see the accident.
I was on social media last night and had no intention. If you told me what the video was before I saw it, I would say, I'm not watching that. And I wasn't really paying attention. My phone was open. I looked down and I saw this ground level shot of a Pirate going from first to second. And then in the background, this guy goes flying out of the stands and appears to land on his head.
Mm.
It is awful. It is absolutely awful. And, I can't unsee it, right? I mean, I didn't want to see it. I can't unsee it. But I think anybody, so a lot of people out there have been in golf carts. That's a tragic story. And this one, the last update is that he's in critical condition. But, the players were rattled. I think anybody that's ever gone to a game and sat in an upper deck or deck of any kind, if you're in the front row,
it's cool, and it's also can be a little scary at times, depending on how they've secured it. Like, remember years ago, there was like 2011, I think it was, Josh Hamilton.
Yeah, that
he was just throwing a ball to a fan before the game, and I think it was it was trying to get it to like a 4-year-old and threw it to the kid's father, and the kid's father reached over to get it, and he tumbled over and fell down in the area between the wall and like the bullpen or whatever it was. But
tragic.
Yeah, he fell and he died.
Yep.
Like, it's just it's horrific, and you hear about feels like every few years you hear other story about somebody falling, and normally you can attribute it. Oh, the person was drunk. Oh, they fell off the escalator or something
terrible.
tragic.
You think of some of those high escalators they have at games.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't go to games and you don't play golf fearing for your life or fearing that something's going to happen like that. And you see stories like this, and it's just a reminder you can never be too careful, and in some cases you got to make sure you're not stupid. But yeah. I certainly hope that this person recovers. And God, that story with Elway's agent is just awful.
I mean, sometimes you just don't know. Like, your first time on a golf course, you're riding down the fairway, you've got decent speed going in the golf cart, and you don't know that there's a dip ready to happen. I've seen that happen too. A buddy of mine was a passenger, and they hit this dip, his head hit the top of the golf cart. And then he landed and wrenched his back, something serious. Fortunately, he wasn't seriously hurt, but he was banged up and was in bad shape for the next day.
It's Carson Anderson. We'll get to your open line calls next here on 97.1 The Ticket.
Michigan State has parted ways with athletic director Alan Haller after 3+ years in the position. The 54-year-old Haller is a Lansing native, went to Sexton High School, played football for the Spartans and in the NFL. He started the job back in 2021. National search is now underway for his replacement. In the meantime, Deputy Athletic Director Jennifer Smith and Tom Izzo will both serve as co-interim athletic directors during that search. Pistons look to force a Game 7 against the Knicks tonight downtown. They're back at Little Caesars Arena for Game 6. Another whiteout there. Guard Malik Beasley told our Jeremy Otto this is the best postseason atmosphere he's ever played in. Isaiah Stewart is once again questionable with right knee inflammation. Pistons 1.5-point favorites according to FanDuel. That tip-off at 7:30 with a 7:05 pregame over on WWJ. And the Tigers open up a 4-game weekend series at the Angels tonight. Casey Mize gets the ball in Anaheim for Game 1. Detroit's 19 wins before May 1st is a first in club history. That first pitch, 9:38 tonight right here on 97.1 The Ticket. At the Corbo Health Sports Desk, I'm Luke Sloan. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
Doug Carr, Scott Anderson, 97.1 The Ticket. Got all kinds of stuff on the table, but we were just talking about the tragic loss of John Elway's agent in a golf cart accident, fell off the back of one. There's this story of this fan. I can't warn people enough. I didn't want to see it, and I didn't intend to see it, and then I saw it, and it's awful. The fan that fell out of the stands at Pittsburgh, And no update on his condition other than the last we heard, critical condition. But it rattled the players. Like some of them saw it. He was 21 feet is how high the wall is. He looked like he might have come out of the second row when it happened, but it was terrible.
Was he trying? I mean, what? We don't.
It's
we don't
weird.
Anything?
He stood up quickly and somehow, I don't know if he was like jumping over the play or whatever, but he just went over. And it's odd, but it's, again, if you don't want to see it, don't seek it out. I'll tell you that. Pistons in action tonight. Huge game at LCA. Whiteout. Everything on the line. Do or die again. Can they once again get out the staving stick and stay alive? Jay in White Lake, you're on 97.1 The Ticket. Hi, Jay.
Hey, fellas. Happy hump day. How we doing?
Doing okay.
Hey, so real quick, Pistons 117-109. That's my number. I'm sticking to that.
Right.
But I'm a restaurant guy. I own a restaurant, and I got to tell you, I want to give you a PSA about that salmon abomination that you guys were talking about earlier. Don't put any of these plant-based foods in your body. I'm telling you, I go down a rabbit hole on this kind of stuff. I refuse to serve any of it in my restaurant. And I'm very clear with people that will call me and say, hey, do you have a vegan option? No, absolutely not. We never will. That stuff is so absolutely loaded with all kinds of horrible chemicals. You wouldn't believe it. If you're taking a plant and turning it into what looks and tastes like meat, imagine what you have to do to that stuff to get the final product to look like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, look, let's face it. A lot of people.
It's not just paprika, salt, and pepper.
A lot of people eat stuff they know that's not good for them, and that's just another example of it. I don't, I'll have a little bit of it with the Impossible Whopper during Lent. Feels like I'm cheating, but it's, I mean,
it's like you're cheating on yourself. Right? It's like you're not only are you going without meat.
I know, right? It's not a moral or ethical thing. It's just I don't eat red meat, but
then you're sort of cheating on your own thing. I don't eat red meat. So
hey, God, this is not really meat, just so you know. This is cool, right? We got an understanding? Me and the man?
No.
Anson is next on 97.1 The Ticket. Hi, Anson.
Hey, gentlemen. I used
up?
to work at the Glacier Club for 8 years, and we had a outing that was only on 9 holes. So all the cart boys, after we got the outing off, we went on to the other 9, and we had brought our paintball guns. So we were running around like a bunch of idiots on carts with paintball guns. I should have been driving, but I wasn't. My buddy was driving, and we came over this bridge over a little river, or I guess a creek, I should say. And these guys jumped out of the woods and ambushed us with their paintball guns. And my buddy was so worried about getting hit instead of just taking the shots, he swerved the cart and we rolled off the bridge into the creek.
Oh.
Fortunately, we had about 12 cart boys. We were able to pull the thing out of the creek and keep our jobs, but it was terrifying, brother.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, look, the golf cart thing, we brought this up before. It's been years. I got the sense we could have taken calls for days.
Yeah.
Because golf cart accidents.
Well, everyone, if you play golf, if you've ridden on a golf court, you've got a story, right? I mean, you had a couple, I had a couple.
It feels like it. And, I guess, look, I'm not a person that lives my life in fear, but you don't want to die a dumb death. You don't want to, just because you're careless while playing golf,
Right.
And look, who knows what happens with all.
You want to die heroic death.
Is that how you want to go out?
Yes. Rather than dumb.
Yeah. Well, when we talk about these things, it's just I guess that for us it's a warning and a reminder to everybody. Hey, do your best to be smart in these situations. And again, we don't know what happened with Elway's agent. Same thing though with the fan in the stands that fell out at the Pirates game last night. Like, do you know where it was the worst? If you ever made it up to one of the suites at the Joe, I felt like the railings in the front rows of the suites came up to your knees.
Right? Yeah.
And in fact, at the bottom of the stairs on those suites to get down to the front row, if I recall correctly, they put a piece of plexiglass up there because it was woefully inadequate.
Yeah, it was. I agree with you. That was a little nasty. I remember the Silverdome when we had season tickets 1 year or 2 years. We had them at the 45-yard line, but they were second row from the top.
Yeah,
that upper level was so steep that scared the hell out of me as a 10 or 11-year-old.
Frank and Romeo, you're next. Hello, Frank.
Hey guys, good afternoon.
What's up?
I've got a golf cart incident. A buddy of mine and me, before it was called the Myth, it was just Stony Creek golf course on Stony Creek Road there in Oakland Township. We were at an outing, and there were some guys coming the other way, and we were basically going from where they park all the carts out to, I don't know what hole it is, maybe 10, I think it is. And there's railroad ties on either side of that are like 3 high. The guy coming the other way didn't think he thought he had enough room. My buddy didn't think he had enough room, and they clipped carts. My buddy was driving. He veered to the right, went on top of those railroad ties, and flipped us completely over. Clubs went flying. Luckily, I was on the passenger side, so I kind of bailed to the right into some flower beds, and he got hurt pretty bad. I broke his shoulder, I think, or his arm or something. It's been a while, but it wasn't good. Yeah. Very, very scary incident. Not good.
Yeah, I mean, you're not thinking about those things when you're in a golf cart too. You're out playing golf. You're at your most relaxed, having the fun, like what you love to do, and it's tragic. And I mean, I'm looking at the texts as they come in. There's so many stories.
Yeah.
248-539-9797. Rob is next on 97.1 The Ticket. Hi, Rob.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Okay.
All right. So my family lives in Pittsburgh, and my cousin was actually at that game about 10 rows behind the guy that fell. Oh. And according to him, he was the look-at-me guy and was absolutely wasted. At one point, he took his shirt off, poured a beer over his head. His friends were all trying to calm him down and everything. And the incident was actually him just jumping up to celebrate a hit, and he just kind of propelled himself forward because he was too drunk and too excited, and like it wasn't intentional or anything like that. He just flat out jumped out of his chair, and it ended terribly.
It's tragic, and the whole idea of that video. I hope he survives. The video is awful to watch.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything other than he's in critical condition, so yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, so who did you say was there?
My cousin.
Yeah.
Cousin Dan.
And what did he say it was like after that? I mean, I'm at the game. I don't even know if I'd want to stay for the game.
Completely somber. It was almost as if there wasn't a game going on. Pirate fans don't get too rowdy or cheer too much anyhow. They just go for the view. But, yeah, he said it was really, really relaxed and somber after that.
I bet. Rob, thank you. 248-539-9797. It's Carson Anderson, 97.1 The Ticket. Hey, it's going down tonight at your favorite Twin Peaks. That's right. Do or die Game 6 for Detroit as they host this must-win game against New York. If you are not going to the game, there's only one place to be. Twin Peaks. Catch every steal, dunk, and buzzer beater on any one of their 50-plus TVs. There isn't a bad seat in the house, and all the lodges have upgraded their AV packages to boast 98-inch televisions. Get there early for a front row seat to all the action. It's the ultimate man cave experience. Wall-to-wall sports, coldest draft beer you've ever had, poured at a bone-chilling 29 degrees, high-end bourbons and tequilas. They feature an extensive craft cocktail list and the best bar food in the country coming out of their scratch kitchen. Why would you go anywhere else? And be ready to double down this weekend with 2 straight days of knockout action starting Friday when Ryan Garcia returns to the ring. Then Saturday, they're back at it with Canelo Alvarez. Not to mention the fastest 2 minutes in sports with the Derby. No one does sports quite like Twin Peaks. See the difference today. Twin Peaks, eat drinks, scenic views. Check, check, check. 9021 and 321. FanDuel's the best place to find all your favorite player props, and now you can make the smarter play with new performance trends. Want to see if a guy's hitting that over consistently, or maybe They've been flirting with a potential triple-double. Get the latest stats right inside the app and see who's heating up. And once the game starts, that's when things get interesting. You can combine live prop bets into same-game parlays for a chance to win big. If you don't already have FanDuel, it's not too late to get in on the action. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So go find a prop bet. You can move the line a little bit in your favor. You won't get a big return on the $5, but you get the $200 in bonus bets to do with whatever you want. FanDuel.com/Doug to join today. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Must be 21 or over and present in Michigan. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 9020 and 321. FanDuel is giving you even more reasons to love home runs every Tuesday during MLB season. Because with Dinger Tuesdays, all FanDuel customers get a home run profit boost. That means when you bet on moonshots, you can take your winnings to new heights. So whether it's a big blast or an Apo Taco, FanDuel is your home for betting home runs. Just visit FanDuel.com/Doug and gear up to go yard all season long. That's FanDuel.com/Doug to claim your Dinger Tuesday profit boost. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook and official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Must be 21 or over and present in Michigan. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and maximum wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Doug, now that we are post NFL draft, going into the weekend, it'll be a full week that we're going to be post NFL draft. I'm thinking maybe next Monday, maybe next Tuesday, somewhere in there, I think we're going to hear from Aaron Rodgers.
Do you?
Yeah. Now that the attention can go back on him.
You didn't think he was going to try and steal the spotlight during the draft?
No.
That felt like a very Rodgers thing to do.
Well, I think that just the knowing that he was going to be a topic of conversation during the draft was distraction enough. He wants the whole spotlight. He didn't want to share it, or rob it. He wants it all to himself. So I'm thinking Monday or Tuesday, we're going to have an announcement from Aaron Rodgers of what he's going to do. Whether it means, I'm still thinking about it, or is he going to say I've signed with the Steelers, or is he going to say, you know what, I've had a great career? I don't think that's going to be it, but I think one of the other two. Either he's going to continue. I just think he's going to speak next week, let people know what's up.
So he's calling his shot. Gator is for next Cinco de Mayo or the 6th of May, Monday or Tuesday. There'll be Aaron Rodgers news.
Is he scheduled for his weekly or an interview with Pat McAfee or anything?
I don't know. I'm just saying, it seems right. There's nothing else that's in the spotlight. I mean, we're going to get the other, I guess the NBA playoffs are starting to get the round 2 underway, but, football is king, and any kind of football news you get, here we go. And it'll happen before, I guess teams have a choice of when they want to do the rookie mini camps.
Right.
Maybe he'll wait. Maybe that's it. Will he wait till after the rookie mini camps are done, which the Lions aren't having theirs until next week?
You really think he's going to strategically wait that long?
Do I think he's going to strategically wait until he can be the focus? Yes. Yes, I do.
It runs that deep for him.
Well, I mean, you doubt me on this?
No, I guess you're probably right. You're probably right.
It's crazy that I was just talking to Hatchet, like big Steeler guy. Have you looked at the Steelers quarterback room right now? It's the worst in the league. Like, if they're waiting on Aaron Rodgers, what happened to the Steelers organization? A once proud organization.
It ain't the same,
man. Their quarterback room right now is Mason Rudolph, Skylar Thompson, and Will Howard. You're not winning any games with that quarterback play.
You know, and
it's got to be Cousins or Rodgers, right?
And to get Cousins, they would have to fork over a ton of money. Or we'd have to get Atlanta to pay a bunch of it, and I don't think Atlanta is too keen on that. But Atlanta, at this point, they're kind of screwed with what they've done with that stupid contract they gave him. Well, it's not even a stupid contract. The stupid thing was that then you're going to turn it over to a rookie quarterback. If you had known that, you don't do that.
Well, it's interesting. You brought up something football related, and I've got a Lions question coming up at 1:24. So the timing. Yep, we've worked together for a minute, haven't we?
Yeah.
He is back today, people, after being out sick yesterday. Some food poisoning-ish stuff.
Yeah, I'm back.
He's back. And someone pointed out that going from on the gastrointestinal disabled list straight into are you going to eat that is playing hurt. And
that's professionalism.
Yeah, heroic comeback for Scott Anderson.
And talking about a potential taco bar.
Yep. He's not afraid.
Cinco de Mayo,
One of the
party.
listeners said this is a gastrointestinal comeback like Gibby in the '88 World Series. Straight into a, are you going to eat that and taco bar discussion.
You know what? Yeah, I'll take that.
Brave, courageous.
Thank you.
You are the Jalen Brunson of talk show hosts with your ability to come back.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Because you actually were sick.
Yeah, I actually was. Legitimately.
Let's go to Jamie. You're on 97.1 A Ticket. Hi, Jamie.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Okay.
Hey, I'm calling in about your golf cart accident, man. Last week we had a big Hot Wheels convention out in St. Louis. So I was checking in on Tuesday. I got a hold of a couple guys and said, hey, I'm bringing my clubs. Anybody want to join me? I could get 9 or 18 in. So we ended up doing the Missouri Bluffs. Killer course, real high, real hilly. I'm on the 6th hole teeing off. The tee box is super high. The green's down really low. Tee off on the green, super happy. Start going down the cart path, super steep hill going straight down. And the cart path took a quick turn to the right. Didn't really see it. And I put the brakes on it. When I hit the brakes, I accidentally locked that stupid parking brake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, she slid around sideways, high-sided, flipped the golf cart on top of me, busted 2 ribs, collapsed the lung.
Oh, wow.
Packed up my clubs, drove all the way back home. It took me 8 hours to get there. It took me 18 hours to get home. So, and I'll tell you what, I never want to deal with a broken rib again, man. It's so hard to breathe and cough. Yep. So, and then as soon as, that happened with Elway's buddy, like 15, 20 of my friends are like, hey, man, you're lucky you didn't die.
Yeah, well, there are too many stories of people dying.
Hot Wheels convention.
I want to go back. I don't want to bury the lead here. A Hot Wheels convention?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's huge.
Is it?
I mean, it's a whole week long. It's a whole hotel, all 18 floors, and everybody packs their room with stuff to sell. And it goes on 24 hours a day. And if you want to leave and go look, you just close your door. And if you're open, you just leave your door open, and people go from room to room to room to buy and selling. I mean, there's some Hot Wheels. Like, I sold one last month for $5,000. One little Hot Wheels car.
You sold a Hot Wheels car for $5,000?
Yep, and put siding on my house.
Which
you gotta get the old ones though, from like 68 to 77.
So what did you sell? What car was it?
It was the Olds 442s.
Okay, the Olds.
You look them up on eBay. They're the hot one right now.
So you sold you took an Olds 442 and turned it into siding?
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And there's a guy that had a Hot Wheels display that you would see at Toys R Us from like 1970 or 71, I believe. He was asking $40,000 for it.
Wow. Did you see people driving actual cars? Like they had I think Chevy did a thing with a Camaro. They had like lime green colored. It was really cool. Like the Hot Wheels version. Did you see a lot of those?
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't get to this time. This would have been my fourth one. I was supposed to check in my room at 3 o'clock that day. My tee time was 10. I only made it to tee off at the 6th hole. And like I said, I packed up my gloves and drove all the way back home. So I missed this year's convention, and I was totally bummed.
Sorry, Jimmy.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you can make next year's.
Be careful out there, you guys.
Where's next year's?
Next year's is in Dallas, Texas.
Okay, gotcha. Well, good luck. Keep us updated on how it's going at the Hot Wheels convention.
Maybe get a roof.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I tell you, this is you get into these worlds I know nothing about, and I get fascinated.
When Susan said Hot Wheels convention, like what, like the little toy cars when we were kids?
I immediately stopped paying attention to his golf cart story, and the mind started spinning. Hot Wheels convention. Apparently got hurt in a golf cart, too.
Yeah, that is what broke a couple ribs, collapsed lung or something. Yeah.
But,
you
start thinking about stuff you had as kids, that if you just hung on to it, that rally 3-speed bike that was such a big deal. It was red. Any of those old train sets I had. Could I get siding?
You could get siding
for my
you
train
could probably
set.
Get siding.
Yeah.
And if you kept it in the package,
missed
you
out.
could definitely get siding. That G.I. Joe with a Kung Fu grip.
Little did I know.
That Bionic Man.
All right, Gator. We got a little test here for the listeners. You sent something over, and I was kind of looking at something similar. 2 major sports media conglomerates have come out with their post-draft NFL power rankings. 2 of them. Both of them cite the same concern for the 2025 Detroit Lions. They both cite the same concern. What do you think that is? We're going to take 10 texts now. Oh, now. We need 10 texts. Make sure you sign your text. And we will read the first 10 texts. 2 major media sites did their power rankings post-draft. And when they ranked the Lions, they both cited the exact same concern. What do you think it is? First 10 texts that come through that are signed, we will read them on the air if you want to give a reason why. But they both say this is the big challenge for the Lions. What do you think it is? We will get to that today at 1:31, 248-539-9797, 97.1 The Ticket.
Hey, if you want that beautiful, green, weed-free yard this summer, do the right thing. Call the awesome folks over at Natural Way Lawn and Tree Service, where you get green and stay green with Natural Way. 888-GET-GREEN is a telephone number, or go to naturalwaylawn.com, and for a limited time only, you purchase the full lawn program. You get free grub control, but you got to mention my name, Gator, in the station, 97.1 The Ticket. You don't want to wait. The warm weather is here, or it's on the way. It comes and goes, as we know, but so does the rain. That means it's perfect breeding weather for the weeds. You want to take care of that. Dandelions, they're no bueno. They may look nice, but they're awful because they rob your lawn of water and nutrients. You don't want it. You got to stop dandelions before they go to seed. Plus, it's not too late to treat for crabgrass, but as you know, if you wait for the summer, it is too late to treat for crabgrass. Give Natural Way a call right now. They don't give you the runaround. They treat for what is needed to be treated. They'll let you know straight up front. They also tailor specifically for your lawn using high-quality products and high-quality expertise. This is a locally owned company for 35 years, a company I've trusted for nearly a dozen years with my lawn. I love it. It's always green and lush. It's amazing. It's Michigan-owned, Michigan employees, Michigan families. They're involved in local charities. You got to love Natural Way. Give them a call today, 888-GET-GREEN, or go to naturalwaylawn.com.
Here are the 10 texts that came in that we asked for. 2 major publications does their post-draft power rankings in the NFL, and they both cited the same challenge for the Detroit Lions, what their biggest issue may be. We'll get to what it was. We asked for 10 texts. Greg says, Rudge Escher, which is one of Gator's all-time greatest screw-ups. Alan McComb says they need another defensive end.
I prefer mashup to screw up, but thank you.
Whatever you want to call it. The same problem the Rams had. It's Jared Goff. That's from Kyle in White Lake. A. May says coaches has to be new coaches. Dwayne from Lapeer says recovery of Hutchinson. Joe in Canton says Hutchinson injury recovery. Jamie in Ann Arbor says new coordinators. Tom in Harrison Township, the 2 biggest concerns that were listed are the offensive and defensive coordinators. From Randy in Livonia, edge rusher opposite of Hutch. Isn't it obvious? Dan says road schedule. Well, I will read this first from CBS Sports. Lions are ranked number 4 in the post-draft power rankings. They lost both coordinators to head coaching jobs, which will be challenging. But they still have a deep roster if they can stay healthy, which they didn't do on defense last year. And The Athletic says, hard to argue with any draft that strongly resources the trenches. The biggest question in Motown remains how well the 2-time defending NFC North champs transition to 2 new coordinators. Those of you that said the coaches, you are correct. So there you have it.
Well, it definitely is a challenge that we're looking forward to seeing how it plays out. I'm more concerned about the defense than I am the offense.
Yeah. The defensive coordinator than you are the offensive coordinator?
Well, yeah, I mean, not necessarily the coordinators,
Okay.
because I don't want to say anything bad about that because I don't know them. I'm just saying that I feel like what Aaron Glenn was able to do with the defense last year felt like it was nothing short of a miracle. And I don't know what to expect out of it. The offense was a well-oiled machine, and Dan Campbell started the thing in the first place. So I feel like that's ready to keep going. But the defense, I don't know. I just don't know what to expect.
All right. I wanted to bring this up because it's just got posted about an hour ago, and it's a hysterical video that somebody has put out there in social media, and I saw it because Tony Paul, the Detroit News, retweeted it. It is a father getting in the car with his son. It's a local video. He's getting in the car with his son. He's putting a seatbelt on, and the son thinks he's going to the dentist.
Ugh.
And the dad turns around and says, hey, mom messed up the dates for the dentist appointment. We don't have a dentist appointment today. And the kid says, no. And he goes, you know where we're going? The kid says, no. And he goes, we're going to the Piston game. And the kid's response is, are you S-ing me? I don't know how the post says, my 9-year-old, when I surprised him with Detroit Piston playoff tickets. They are leaving for the Piston game. Apparently, looking at this guy's account on Twitter, he's from northern Michigan, so it would stand to reason that you'd be getting an early start for tonight's Piston game. What is the best ticket surprise you ever pulled on your kid or that was pulled on you, where somebody surprised you with tickets? This is a pretty awesome surprise. And in fact, at one point, there's an exchange between the dad and the kid where he's like, hey, we're in the building. These aren't great seats, but it's what we can afford. Which, as a small kid, you think you're going to the dentist, but instead you're going to Game 6 of the Pistons Knicks series.
That's pretty sweet.
That's awesome. I did this once with my oldest when he was a little guy. It was before Michigan played Alabama in the season opener down in Dallas. He came to work with me, and he was probably like 8 or 9. And he was here while we did the show, and then we got in the car. He fell asleep. I drove straight to the airport. It was the Friday before the Michigan-Alabama game. I woke him up in the parking garage at the airport and just got him out of the car, and he's like, where are we? What are we doing? And he had no idea. And I said, we're going to the Michigan-Bama game. And so he met his cousin down there, and we had a really good time up until the game. But that was probably the best one I pulled off. But if anybody's actually pulling off the surprise tickets for tonight's game, or you got surprised with tickets to tonight's game, or any other great ticket surprise, because this is a great video. It's hysterical.
I remember years ago when I was probably 10 years old or so. That one of my
years ago.
Yeah, it was years ago. That one of my this didn't happen to me, but my friends, two guys that live in the neighborhood, we were all kind of close, but these guys were a year older than me. They were both big Michigan fans at the time, and their parents decided they were going to go to the Rose Bowl that year. So for Christmas, as a gift, they had like a bowl. Each kid got this bowl, and in the bowl it had a rose in there and had some other things kind of cluing them in on what it is. And it took them a while to figure it out, and because they're 10 years old, it takes a while. And once they figured it out, it was awesome for them to be able to experience that.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Are we going to the Rose Bowl?" And they're like, "Yeah, not only are you going to the Rose Bowl, but Marty's going to go too."
That's cool. That's very cool. I'll try and retweet this video because it's kind of awesome. But did you ever pull off the surprise ticket thing? Anyone have surprise tickets to tonight's game that they have pulled off or they have not pulled off yet? Like our guy from Northern Michigan, Monday Q Info, did on Twitter. We see him with his kid. And his kid, his 9-year-old, asking, "Are you S-ing me?" Is hysterical. We go to Chuck. You're on 97.1 The Ticket. Hi, Chuck.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Doing good.
Hey, my first surprise ticket was when I was 7 years old. My dad used to work for Michigan Bell downtown.
Yep.
And he took me on Saturday down to work. And I was, 7 years old, missing Saturday cartoons. I was bummed. And my dad said, "Okay, we're going." So I thought we were going home. Nope. Got on Woodward Avenue, made a right turn in Michigan, and took me right to the Tiger game.
Wow.
I saw the old Washington Senators with Frank Howard against the Tigers. 7-year-old me came walking in Tiger Stadium. Green seats, green grass, blue skies. Al Kaline's on the top step of the dugout. He's waving. The 7-year-old me, he's waving at me. I know he's not. But.
That's great.
That day, my dad taught me how to keep score. And later on, I took my daughter to baseball games, and I taught my daughter to keep score.
Oh, that's great.
That's cool.
So, passing it down.
Yeah,
Nice.
No, that's great. That's a great story. 248-539-9797. Let's go to Bob. You're next on 97.1 The Ticket. What's up, Bob?
How you doing, guys?
We're great, Bob.
I just have to tell you this story. My daughter lived and died for New Kids on the Block. Remember when they were real popular?
Oh, yeah.
And, I had Piston tickets at the time, blah, blah, blah. And I said, "Honey, there's no way you can get tickets. I don't know what to tell you." So the day of the concert, I tell her, "You know what? I got to go to Rochester to pick something up. Can you come with me and keep me company?" She said, "Sure." So we're driving there, and I said, "What are all these cars?" I said, "We're pulling up through the Palace area." And she goes, "Dad, please don't rub it in." I said, "What do you mean?" She says, "Well, New Kids on the Block are here today." I said, "Oh, my God, how do I get out of this traffic?" So she said, "Well, you got to make a right." So I make a left, right? So we're pulling in. She goes, "Dad, you're stuck with the people that are going to the concert." I said, "Well, maybe I'll just go in the lot and see what happens." And the closer we got to it, I see she starts shaking.
Starts to figure it out.
"Dad, you didn't. I said, "Well, I'll tell you, I escalated my parental status.
Yeah, I bet.
About 1,000 points. Yeah.
Bob became hero dad in that moment, right?
Your dad had the right
how about
stuff.
that, huh?
That's awesome. Well played.
Thank you.
Well played. We go to Hal and Troy. You're next on 97.1 The Ticket. What's up, Hal?
Hey, how you doing?
Great.
Long time. Over 25 years ago or so, I surprised my dad with tickets to the Indy 500 up in the suite right on the finish line.
Wow.
And I bought them. At an auction. What do you call it? A benefit auction type thing, and surprised him with that. And not only was he overwhelmed, I lived up in Michigan. He lived down in St. Louis. We rendezvoused and made it to the Indy 500, and we got all these VIP passes, and we go down in the where the cars are and everything else. We get back up to our seats in the suite, And I have a terrible sports memory, so I can't remember who the French driver was. But it turns out the owner of the French driver, they flew in on the Concorde. Wow. And you hear this Concorde coming in this into the airport, and about 2 hours before the race started, and lo and behold, about 25 people show up. None of them speak English. They weren't very friendly at all, but there was really good food. My dad and I had a blast.
Wow.
That's
well done, Hal.
That's how you do it, Hal.
Hal, that's how you wrap it up.
Well done.
He wrapped it up.
I mean, that was early into the theme. As soon as he heard it, Hal knew what to do.
He did. That's awesome.
I'm proud of Hal.
He got out. No, he got out.
He got out before he had to be yelled at.
We're up against a commercial break. Timing was outstanding. Well done, Hal. We'll get to more of your surprise ticket stories based on a dad in northern Michigan who surprised his 9-year-old with Piston tickets. They're on the road right now. And the kid response, the dad recorded it when the kid found out. The 9-year-old looked at his dad and said as innocently and as earnestly as a 9-year-old can, "Are you S-ing me?" The answer is no. They're going to be there tonight. Hey, FanDuel is the first sportsbook app where you can bet the Kentucky Derby. And right now, all customers can get a no-sweat Derby bet. That means you'll get racing bonus back if your bet doesn't win. The app is super easy to use, and you don't have to be a horse racing expert to get in on the Derby Day action. So bet America's #1 race with America's #1 sportsbook. Just visit FanDuel.com/Doug for your chance to get a no-sweat bet for the Kentucky Derby. That's FanDuel.com/Doug. Must be 21 or older and present in Michigan. The opt-in is required. Verified FanDuel racing account required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable racing site credit that expires 9 days after receipt. The maximum refund is $10 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at racing.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Talking about surprise tickets. Tony Paul, the Detroit News, retweeted a guy from northern Michigan surprising his son earlier today. Told his son they're going to the dentist. They weren't going to the dentist. They're hitting the road, headed to Detroit for tonight's Game 6. Pistons and Knicks, which we've talked about at great length today. Go Pistons, get it done. Force a Game 7. But this guy surprised his kid. His kid had a great response at 9. Are you S-ing me? We've retweeted if you want to see it at DunGator971. But it's got people talking about the surprise ticket in their life, whether they pulled off the surprise or their mom or dad surprised them, or friend surprised them, or girlfriend surprised them. Or in this case, I have a text here from someone named Mike Stone.
Oh, interesting.
Who texts me on air. Cindy walks in and says, happy anniversary. We are going to San Francisco and you are playing Pebble Beach.
Wow.
Wojo obviously knew before. Bags were packed and we headed to the airport. I think this is Stoney that just texted me. I think that's who it is.
You think so?
Yeah. Because he worked with Wojo and that. That's pretty cool.
It's not ticket, but it's pretty cool.
Surprise trip to San Francisco and playing Pebble Beach.
That works.
That's a hell of a surprise.
Thank you,
Yep.
wife.
Yep. Yep. 248-539-9797. Let's go to Matt. You're on 97 on a ticket. Hi, Matt.
Hey, Doug. I used to work with you at TKA back in Ann Arbor back in the day.
What's
you
up,
and Dennis
Matt?
would give me a ride back to the fraternity house. So my story is this. I was about 11. I was playing hockey at the time. My dad comes home from work and says, you want to go see Gretzky play? And he had a buddy at the Lindell AC downtown, and the guy would always get sometimes would get tickets from some of the corporate guys that they couldn't use. And we ended up going to see the Red Wings play the Oilers and had seats on the glass.
Sweet.
And the funniest part about the story is they were, in those days, the tickets on the glass were like $25, and my mom was like complaining to my dad about how expensive it was that we were paying to go to a hockey game.
On the glass for $25, huh?
Yep, that was it. But
Yeah.
that's my story. So,
That's awesome, Matt.
great show, guys.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Appreciate it. And thanks for helping out back in the day. 248-539-9797. A listener sent this in. The best was when Valenti surprised his dad that he was taking him to Lambeau for the Giants-Packers game in the NFC Championship. That was so
that's
cool.
cool.
Yep. Joe is next on 97 on the ticket. Hello, Joe.
Hi, how you guys doing today? This is a good one. We had season tickets in the early 2000s for the Lions. We had 4 seats. And the Super Bowl was 2005. And my buddy who owned the tickets, he didn't tell me anything. He says, I want you to come over. I just need to talk to you for a minute. I said, okay, whatever. So I go over there, and he goes, we won the lottery. You got 2 tickets to the Super Bowl. That was just totally amazing.
Wow. That's very, very
Yeah,
cool.
it's just
So which Super Bowl did you see?
I had to pay.
I'm assuming the one in Detroit.
One in Detroit,
Oh,
and
okay,
I
I'm
had to pay for it. And it was $600. I remember the face value, $600 per ticket, if you can imagine, sitting upstairs. But that's something I'll always remember. It was fantastic.
Well, they're hard to come by, that's for sure. 248-539-9797. Let's go to Peter next on 97 on the ticket. Hello, Peter.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So you remember back in the day when physical tickets were actually a thing? They used to have coupons on the back of them.
Yeah.
I got in the car with my dad, and he's like, we're going to National Coney Island for dinner. And I was like, okay. And it was on the back of a Red Wings playoff ticket, and we drove right to Joe Louis Arena.
That's great.
That's very cool.
Oh, I'm gonna get a honey.
Yeah, Gator, I also got to mention that I'm good friends with the Mugs, and I did all the backup vocals on the last record, so that was me screaming Gator on that song.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Peter. Appreciate that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what a good head fake by Dad.
It's a great head fake.
248-539-9797. Darius is next on 97 on the ticket. Hi, Darius.
Detroit, what up, though?
How you
Good day
doing?
for Pistons basketball.
Huge.
How you fellas doing?
Doing well, Darius.
Hey, so I surprised my kids with some wrestling tickets. You know, I work in media, so you know I'm always in different meetings, and you know, what do you guys want to eat for dinner? They said, let's go pizza. I said, oh, cool. So I took them to Mike's Pizza Bar, and They were like, why are all these people walking in? Like, what's going on tonight? And they had no idea that there was a wrestling event. And so we finished eating, and once the doors opened,
just to be clear, Mike's Pizza Bar is right at LCA.
Yeah.
It's the one that's
right,
like
Little
in the
Caesars Arena.
Yeah, just making sure that people understand what Mike's Pizza Bar is. So you're right there already.
And what's crazy is I had already set up a meeting. So I picked the kids up for school. We ate pizza, and then we walked in. I've taken them to wrestling events before, which we kind of set up in the bowl a little bit. But we walked all the way down to row 1, seats 1 through 4. And to sit ringside with the kids to see their faces was crazy amazing for a dad.
What was the main event? Do you remember?
I cannot remember. Don't give me the line.
No, it's all right. It's all right. That's cool.
That's a great one.
Best place to watch the wrestling matches from the first row.
Yeah. Didn't you say if you're far away, you kind of it's hard to follow what's going on?
If you have floor seats, you think they're great until you realize where they are on the floor.
Yeah.
If they're not in the first couple rows, and it's brutal. Because people stand and you can't see anything. So
248-539-9797. Dave's in Clinton Township and next. Hello, Dave.
Hey, how you doing, guys? Hey, first off, Stoney didn't play Pebble Beach. Pebble Beach played Stoney.
Probably true.
All right, and how about a great game? Guess his score. Anyway, so I remember this like it was yesterday, 1983. I come home from school. I was a sophomore, junior, and my mom says, "Hey, that band you kind of like, is that Rush?" I'm like, nobody just kind of likes Rush, Mom. You either love them or you hate them. And I said, I love them. Yes. Well, I got tickets. I was like one of the callers. Like, what are you doing? I was cleaning your room. I turned on the radio, and the first thing it popped on, so I picked up the phone and I called. I was number 26.
Wow.
That's surprising.
The only thing that sucked about that is my dad. I just started driving. He wouldn't let me drive myself and my girlfriend down to Joe Louis, so he had to drive me, which is all right because we started making out in the back. He made a stop, but whatever. It was going to Rush.
That's pretty awesome. Do you remember what radio station years ago that was?
Right, Wheels Are Real.
WRIF 101.
Okay. There you go. Yeah. 248-539-9797. Caller 26.
I won tickets to a show one time.
I think I won Sprite on JLB when I was a kid.
Yeah?
Some Sprite. I don't know that I ever got it.
Like a can of Sprite?
No, like a case.
A case of Sprite?
Yeah. Does anybody remember that? Giving away Sprite?
I won tickets to see a band called GTR in like the mid-'80s. It was a band. It was the guitar player for Yes and the guitar player for Genesis, I believe, at the time.
Okay.
Steve Hackett and Steve Howe were the two guitar players, and they had some singer. And they had a song that they only had one hit. It was like at the old State Theater, I think. State Theater to Fox. It had to be State Theater. But I won the tickets, and the guy who's taking my information, he goes, "Oh, and how old are you?" I'm like, "I was 15." He goes, "You need to be 18 to win the tickets." I'm going with somebody who's 18. He goes, "Okay, all right." For a second, I thought I didn't have the tickets, but I did.
Quick thinking for a 15-year-old Gator. Yeah. Well done.
Thinking on my feet.
Yep.
Making it happen.
Andy's in Fowlerville, and he's next. What's up, Andy?
Hi, guys. How you been?
Great.
I was 14, and it had to have been like October of '74 or whatever. Obviously, I'm in school. And I come home from school, and I had heard, we're walking home, and one of the guys goes, "Did you hear the Led Zeppelin tickets went on sale?" And I said, "Get out." "Yeah, they went on sale this morning at like 10 o'clock. They just announced it on the radio, and nobody even knew." And I get home, and I'm like, "Dad, did you hear the Led Zeppelin tickets were on sale?" My dad turns around, and he's got like 10 tickets laying out in front of him. And he was taking all the guys that worked for him and me, I was going to be my dad's date, to go to Olympia, which would have been in like February of '75.
Wow.
To see Led Zeppelin. And if you remember, that was like the longest 3-4 months of my life waiting for that to happen. And remember the Olympia, how steep the upstairs was, the mezzanine? Well, we were on like the front row of the mezzanine upstairs, but we were like hanging right over the stage, so the tickets were fantastic.
That's
cool.
amazing.
That's
I
cool.
thought you were going to say you got tickets to see the Zeppelin show at the Silverdome. When the first Silverdome first opened up, one of the first things they had was Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
He went even better before that at Olympia. Crazy.
Keith in Oak Park, 97 won the ticket. Hi, Keith.
Hi, for a bar mitzvah present, I surprised my nephew
and I took them to the Tiger game against Oakland when Ordonez hit that walk-off home run in 2006.
Wow.
It was the funniest thing. So it was the day before the game. It was 2-0. I don't know how well you remember this, but there was a Friday and Saturday game in Detroit. The first 2 games were in Oakland.
Yep.
So that Friday, the game hadn't, the Friday night game hadn't started yet. I called his father before like at 12 o'clock. I said, I've just been in touch with the ticket broker. This is before we were going online to buy the tickets.
Hey, the show's almost over, Keith, so real quick.
Oh, okay. Anyway, he came home from school. He called me. I go, where do you want to go tomorrow more than anything? He says, the Tiger game. I said, Jacob, your bar mitzvah present's the Tiger game from Uncle Keith.
Oh, that's
and when he saw Ordonez hit the home run.
Nice. Well played. That's a memorable moment. All right, Mike and Rico are coming up next, Scott, and they aren't here. So what do you think they're going to talk about today?
I think they're going to take turns at the Cinco de Mayo party, and they're going to talk about the strategy of which to get back there to enjoy it while still doing the show.
Okay. That is next. Stay safe, everyone. Treat each other with respect. 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by Moran Buick GMC. We're just 5 hours away from Game 6 between the Knicks and Pistons at Little Caesars Arena. Detroit favored by 2.5 in this one. No one listed on the Knicks injury report as we speak. As for the Pistons, Isaiah Stewart is still listed as questionable. He was seen going through some shooting drills at shoot-around earlier, though. Hear the game over on WWJ News Radio 950, the pregame show at 7:05. Atlanta Hawks forward Dyson Daniels was tabbed the NBA's most improved player yesterday. I asked Tim Hardaway Jr. on whether it should have been Cade Cunningham. Cade, Luka Doncic, and Oscar Robertson are the only players in NBA history to average 25, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists through their first 5 career playoff games. Pretty good. Michigan State parting ways with Athletic Director Alan Haller. His last day will be May 11th. Deputy Athletic Director Jennifer Smith, along with men's basketball coach Tom Izzo, will serve as interim. MSU President Kevin Guskowitz released the following statement, quote, "I'm grateful for Alan's leadership since I joined the university and appreciate the success our programs have seen under his leadership. He's deeply committed to this university and has led with honesty and integrity," end quote. The Tigers continue their long road trip tonight. The next stop, the LA Angels. They've struggled out of the gate, holding a 12-17 record. Star outfielder Mike Trout was looking good and healthy before he left yesterday's game early with left knee soreness. After the game, he said, quote, "When it happened, I knew it was like just a weird one, but now after getting treatment and stuff, I should be a little better soon." You can hear the game right here on 97.1 The Ticket at 9:38. At the Corwell Health Sports Deck from Little Caesars Arena, I'm Jeremy Otto. For more, go to 97.1theticket or odyssey.com.
Apparently, Jeremy had a brain freeze there for a moment. I don't know what that was.
I was like, where's the rest of it?
Wow. All right.
I'm Jeremy Otto, and you're not.
And let me think about the rest. Okay. We have a lot to get to, so we're not going to screw around and waste time. Pistons Game 6 tonight, and I'd like to give you a statement in as unequivocal and deliberate a manner as I can, and you have to tell me whether you're where I'm at. And I'm going to give you a reason why. Can't tell you my reason's right, but I don't think I'm wrong. So let's party. Guaranteed.
Oh,
the Detroit Pistons are winning this game tonight. I guaranteed it. Because I'm telling you,
put it on the front page,
put it
back
on the front,
page.
the back, put it above the fold, below the fold. We're going to be at the Canadian Club Terrace postgame. Okay. You're damn right. Your daddy drank it. It's going to be like the old days at the Palace. I just feel like Brunson and Hart are actually hurt. I think the lazy way out is to say, "Oh, they're tired." No. Go look at Brunson when he re-injured himself. The floor trembled. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
The floor buckled a little bit. That's a different type of thing. He scored 3 points in that fourth quarter. I am just beyond convinced. He has now re-aggravated a prior injury 3 times in this series, and I think the breaking point was Game 5. And Josh Hart is hurt. Josh Hart is one of the toughest dudes in the league. He doesn't lay on the floor. You can't call Josh Hart a flopper. You can't call Josh Hart a drama queen. No. I think Josh Hart is hurt. I don't think he's right. And look, Rico, I can't promise you they win Game 7, but I just promise you there will be a Game 7. I really believe tonight it's in the bag. They're winning. And I want to know who's with me. And if you're not, that's okay. You can say, guys, Asur's not going to give us, 50 points again. You can say Brunson won't only score 3. I totally hear you.
So you think they were really hurt and not just Tibbs for some reason holding on to that last time out?
Here, to the point that I put this on the show sheet, and I am willing to be mocked. I actually thought, you know what, if I were Tom Thibodeau, maybe I'd do what Steve Kerr did last night. A pseudo pooch punt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ask Hart and Brunson for 80-plus minutes tonight. And we get rest, we get healthy, we get home, one shot, throw our best fastball, Game 7 in our barn. I know that probably won't happen, but I'm just telling you where my mind is.
I get it.
Look, if Brunson comes out tonight and cooks and drops 40, then fine. Then he wins an Oscar. Him and Meryl Streep should be up for the award. But I just feel like something was different last game. I thought he was actually hurt.
I think that he was hurt, but I do think a part of that was the fact that Tibbs kind of let a minute go by when they're just sitting there. And I give it to the Pistons. You know what, guys? They play smart basketball. Don't foul anybody. Nope. Let this clock run. The best way we can beat them, keep them on the sideline, because the second they came back in, the game got interesting. But for a while, it looked like the Pistons was just going to walk away with this thing. I haven't seen that bad of clock management since Thanksgiving Day here at Ford Field, where it's like, call the timeout. Call the timeout. What are you doing? They didn't. Pistons benefited just like the Lions did.
Is it wrong if I am okay?
No, I get Mike. Hold on. I get what you're saying about those guys being injured. I totally disagree with Tibbs doing what Steve Kerr did. Steve Kerr, it made sense because you still have another game if this
Before
bombs.
the Game 7.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're going back home. It's Game 6. I can rest my guys, and we can just come out there and just end this series for the Rockets.
And I know what I'm saying is, how do I phrase
if
this?
New York goes back Game 7 and the Pistons have won 2 straight, it's at that point is when I would say I would guarantee the game for the Pistons because they got nothing to lose.
So you're saying they win tonight, they're winning the series?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way. I guess I wanted, and you can't do it. It's live radio. But I want to see Brunson and Hart in the first quarter tonight before I make that declaration. But I will find it hard to believe the Knicks win tonight. I do. Now, if Brunson and Hart look like nothing's wrong, well, the horses left the barn. It's different. But I want to know who's with me on it. And that's why previewing series are so stupid. It's a pointless endeavor. The reality of all of this is series are 7 games. There is no momentum between those games. And things happen. There's a different phrase I'd like to use. Forrest Gump t-shirt. Bleep happens.
Right.
And I think bleep has happened. I think you're seeing Brunson and Hart very compromised. That's what I'm expecting tonight. So let's find out. Who's with me on this? And by the way, word on the street, Tommy G's back in town. He's going to be moving the community. 248-539-9790. Oh, he'll be operating the cannon tonight, bro. David, what do you think?
I've listened to what your reasonings are, and they are legit reasons. They are real legit reasons. You're right. Brunson looked different after he went down in Game 5. He looked different. He just didn't seem the same. While they tried to get him back in, I think they were like, you know what, it is what it is. He's kind of hurt.
No, David, that was just an idiot coach. Like,
okay.
But
he didn't look right.
He didn't look right, but he also has gone down in other games in this series, and you're thinking, oh, my goodness, and you know what? Back.
Yeah.
I'm a pro.
Correct. I believe
this one was different,
I just thought
though.
he moved different when
Correct.
he came back this time.
Correct.
And I know. I'm not Dr. Quinn medicine woman. I did not.
Until you get the wheelchair and the towel, then I will say it's serious.
Noted.
But based on that, I just can't go with you. I'm sorry, Mike. I just cannot go with you. I want to believe in my Pistons tonight, but when I've looked at them all year, they don't look any better at home than they do on the road. In fact, they have the same record. They don't look better. They don't use the home court advantage. They just don't. And they've lost every game in this series at home.
Well, that'd be 2.
So
I don't want to make it like it's 10 games.
But 2 could be 3 tonight. And that's what I think happens. They lose it. They don't look good at home.
And understand, guys, look, I think I know I'm at a point where there's really no negative outcome for me. I can't be more impressed or more respectful of what the Pistons have managed to do this year. They've also gotten this to a Game 6. And, yeah, I had Knicks in 6. Who cares? I'm picking against my pick. Why? Because picks are like buttholes. Everyone's got one, and they all stink. So the point is, I go with the series. I'm not going, I want to be right radio. Who cares? No one ever remembers anything we're right about.
Oh, trust me, if they win in 7, somebody will let you know they picked that.
Okay, good for them.
Pistons in 7. Cookies in the morning.
No, yeah, but hold on. That pussycat wasn't willing to go on his own damn show and say that today. So, you know what? You can take that little bitch and go to the catio. No. We're not doing that with him. Because I texted him this morning, and I said, dude, you're acting like a pussycat on your own show. Guaranteed they're winning tonight. And if they win tonight, yeah, they probably win the series. You don't get to flex. I'm saying Jim.
You don't own a disco shirt.
You don't, because I have self-respect. Not doing that clown radio.
Oh, trust me. They win in 7, he will let everybody know.
He doesn't get to, you know what? I don't care. Do whatever he wants. 248-539-9797. I think tonight's guaranteed. I think the Pistons will win tonight. And I think there will be a Game 7. And it's more than root for radio, which would be amazing for us to have a show to talk about Monday. And look, the 2 outcomes, let's just be very real. It's freer and looser when the 2 outcomes are Cancun or getting spanked. That's what's on the horizon for you. Vacation or Celtics. Spanking. Doesn't matter. You want to play.
Right.
The bottom line is it's easier because look where we are, guys. The fact we're even talking about going to a Game 7.
And I do think if you make it to Game 7, all the pressure's on New York. All the pressure's on Thibodeau.
That I agree with.
All
yes.
Their fans will be gripping. They'll come out there and try to do the bing bong thing, but they're all sitting there wondering, are we about to choke this away? And the Pistons take a lead, you will see desperate moves. You will see
It's already
players.
happening. I'll give you an example. Not that anyone here cares, but if you're curious and caring are two different things. Talked to a couple buddies of mine at FAN. I mean, they're already doing the if we lose a series, Tibbs should be fired. If we lose a series, Mikal Bridges should be traded again. If we lose. You're not doing if we win radio. The conversation, I even heard guy I know, respect, and like over there say, bottom line, there's no shot we're beating the Celtics. It doesn't even matter at this point. This team isn't good enough. They're already doing those shows.
Right, but you can't beat the Pistons. And I think, bottom line, going back from the first game of this series, even though I know the Pistons were up 3-1 in the series in the regular season, I don't think New York took this team seriously because they still saw the team that only won, 14 games last year. And they're like, well, we'll get past them. And the Pistons brought in a fight, and it was like, okay, maybe we should have studied a little harder for this test because we're getting our ass kicked.
248-539-9797. Love to hear from you guys on it. I want to rap about the Pistons a little bit. We'll get into some Lions stuff a little later. We are going to have some fun lightly. Nobody panic. Oaks and Derby, big weekend in horse racing. We'll have some blitzes, the Kenny Toilet Bowl flush with the menu at Churchill Downs this weekend. Just some fun stuff, and we'll do our Derby draft. And I have a controversial selection that may be disallowed by Cardinal Hatchet Man. We'll see. 248-539-9797. Go ahead. Say it with your chest. Pistons are winning tonight. And if you think I'm being overly confident, we can talk about it. But I've given you the reason why. I truly believe Hart and Brunson are compromised. I didn't believe that before. Now, that last game was different.
That I believe. I don't think Tibbs can afford.
What if Tibbs shaves his head? 2-point swing?
It's probably like a 10-point swing.
Bro, that little piggly wiggly on top of his head, that's got to stop.
Right. Before I shoot my free throw, can I rub the top? Okay, there we go.
Yikes. 248-539-9797. A personal injury of any sort is personal. Injury attorney David Femininio's dedicated his career securing justice, maximizing recovery for those who've been injured. And David, dedicated to ensuring you get the care you need, put your life back together after an accident. You need an attorney who makes it personal? David Femininio's your guy. 855-65-CRASH. Or go to that website, getdavidgetpaid.com. That's getdavidgetpaid.com. Just getting started. We've got a lot of good stuff for you today, but we wanted to really make the Pistons the focus. And I was just disappointed because if you're going to operate the double-digit disco, then you got to go on your own show and say they're winning tonight. And instead, Jim had a little, ground round placemat and some crayons. Shout out for my fellows 80s kids. And I go, what are you doing, man? They're winning tonight. Like, the Pistons are winning. I don't think that's provocative. I don't think that it's hyperbole. I'm not doing it for effect. I've given you the reason why. I think the Knicks, with Brunson and Hart, they look absolutely, from a physical standpoint, compromised. And I thought last game was different. I thought it finally took effect. And hey, if they come out and look amazing and combine for 50, then I look stupid. But I'm just telling you what I have to go by. Not sure if you're aware of this. I haven't been able to physically examine them. I don't work for the Knicks. So that's just where I'm at. And I don't see a reason to not be confident tonight. But what is your emotion going into it? If it's not confidence, is it house money? Is it nerves? Do you feel like, hey, if we win tonight, we're winning the series, therefore I'm nervous because there's a cost?
Maybe it's still anger.
I don't know.
Maybe it's anger, the fact that this should be your closeout game tonight.
Oh, wah. So Detroit of you. Wah.
Amen.
Detroit versus everybody. Right. It should say Detroit versus insecurity. Amen. David, go ahead. No, it's the part of this town I've never understood. You can stand on your own.
I don't know. But I'm saying there are some who may feel this should be your closeout game tonight. Winning it at home the way Golden State's going to win at home.
Well, it's not. David, go ahead.
I'm leaning Mike's way. From the start of the series, I felt that a longer series, considering New York only plays 6 guys, is just going to build more wear and tear. That is from Russ.
Look, they played more bench minutes last game. The problem is it was almost too much. When you're getting 22 minutes from the backup point guard.
Cameron Payne?
No, the other goofball. The kid who takes all the awful shots. Oh, my God, he's always got a blank look on his face. Look, it doesn't matter. Just move it along. My head's in a million places. David, go ahead.
The Knicks are only running a 7 or 8-man rotation. In most of these games, I think they're tired. You can see it. I think you're asking them to cover more space than Tibbs' bald head. That is from Tom. Oh, my. McBride is his name. McBride.
Yeah, thank you. Bum McBride.
Miles McBride. Mike is right. I think this series had 7 games written all over it from the start. 2 teams that seem to have each other's number. That is from John in Lake Orion.
The only thing that changed was the Knicks playing their worst game of the series in Game 5, and 2 of their 5 guys looked like they got legitimately hurt. No, it wasn't destined for 7. When you go down 3-1, the series is over, but you won it.
And the fact that they were not in the game in money time.
What was Thibodeau doing?
I get it. Okay, you're waiting for a dead ball, but the second it hit 1 minute left to go in the game.
He was protecting a timeout so he could inbound it in the front court. For when? When the game was over?
Bro, I told you, I haven't seen this since Thanksgiving Day when we watched 37 seconds tick off the clock. Like, are you really going to do this? You're going to get fired for this.
You understand we only say that word one way on this show.
What's that? Thanksgiving. Oh, Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Xavier Leggett.
Or Thanksgiving.
Yes. Thank you, caller Ed. All right, let's go to the people next. We go to Matt, 97.1. Matty, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Mike. Hey, Rico. How you guys doing today, man?
Excellent, sir. What's on your mind?
I just have to say, Mike, I agree with you 100%. If Pistons win tonight, they will win tonight. I think they might even win it handily because they're pissed. And I think that it will go Game 7, and our record in New York speaks for itself. I think we have a better than 50% chance of winning the series. I'll say one more thing to just ask you.
Yeah.
And it's not basketball related, if you don't mind.
No, what's up?
Your New York Giants.
Okay.
That defensive line now scares the living hell out of me. What do you think about them?
I think the Giants are going to be last year's Steelers. I think they'll have a top 10 defense and a bottom 5 offense. And
do you think because of Abdul Carter they're going to move Burns to linebacker?
No. I think, listen, no. I think what it is now, it's depth. You're going to have what the Giants did to the Patriots, right? Rico always references it. They had back then what they called their NASCAR package. It was 4 defensive ends on the field on 3rd downs. 4. We'll do the same thing. It just gives you one-on-ones and boutique matchups you're able to kind of manipulate. And look, they'll have a really good defense. They're going to have a really bad offense and probably end up right in the middle. It's just what it is.
So you're making the playoffs?
No.
You said like the Steelers?
I think they'll win 7 games. How about that? Okay. What do you want from me? Gabagool. Yeah. Can I get a little Jameis? How is Jameis Winston, I combined J-Mo and Jameis. How is that not in the system yet, where he's doing his Sopranos Italian cold cut imitation?
Gabagool. It's gabagool.
I felt it was a little bit disrespectful, so I'm not going to put that in the system.
Really? Okay, then.
Sign the same.
Yeah, sign Kenny's Pizza Box.
I have me saying in Trump voice, big penis or whatever I said. I don't want to hear about that.
Right.
Exactly.
We even play the pizza song. I don't even know what that's called.
It's not called Pizza Song.
No, it's called a Tontarella. You know what? Forget it. We just go to Bob. We go to Bob in Ann Arbor. I'm done. Bob, what's going on?
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
Good.
So I don't know. I want to agree with you, but I just want to make a couple points.
Sure.
Number one is that I know from our fans, like the Detroit fans' perspective, and the people who watch the Pistons all along know what this team is about. But if you're the Knicks, I think there's so much pressure on them beyond what any of us can even imagine. Because think about this: the fact from their perspective, the fact that we're in this series is an indictment on their players. It's an indictment on Tom Thibodeau. It's an indictment on the decisions they made. They gave up 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges, and they're struggling with us. Like they have. I think they have the 4th highest payroll in the NBA, and we're dead last. Like the fact that the fact that they're struggling with us is it's a complete indictment on their entire organization, and it's giving their fans the reason to really be annoyed too.
Let me offer you something. What if the fact that the Pistons are so young, and even a guy like Tobias, who's been a failure in the playoffs throughout his career, what if the Pistons are just too dumb to feel pressure? Like they don't even realize that there's pressure on them because they're so new at this. What if that's like your secret weapon?
I think that's part of like what I want to say. Yes, I agree, because I think Aaron Rodgers did an interview saying that when he played in his first Super Bowl, he's just like, it's another game, because he was too dumb to realize how big of a deal it was.
Yeah,
I think the Pistons do fit that mold. And the other thing I want to say is regarding today's game, I don't know. Jalen Brunson always looks like he's dead and then comes back and is fine. So I'm not going to I'm not going to hang my hat on Jalen Brunson being hurt. I think the X factor for every game this series is how Cat plays. If he plays like with his back to the basket and trying to do post moves and things like that, I think they're toast. But if he starts hitting pulling up jumpers from 3 points, we are effed.
Bob, the problem is you can't leave him out there to just shoot that 30-foot 3, because he can easily hit it. But if you guard him too closely, he'll just run right past you and drive to the basket. So he is the problem.
Yeah, exactly. If he gets going, there's no one on our team who can guard him. But for some reason, I think he can be one of the best offensive players. He already is, but he can be even better if he's more aggressive. I don't know why he's timid.
Well, I think part of the Knicks' problem, though, and again, this is the push and pull, is you have a phenomenal isolation player, late shot clock guy, clutch guy in Brunson, but the more you put the ball in his hands, the more everything stops. And then it's termed Brunson ball. And I don't think their best offense is that, but they're falling into it. Look, Bob, the only thing I would tell you is I'd probably go a step further. Let's assume Brunson and Cat are going to play better because they couldn't play worse, right? It comes down to Bridges, like you said, or Anunoby, because I think Hart is absolutely hurt. And I think one of OG Anunoby or Mikal Bridges has to step up and give them what Asur Thompson gave you. That's it, to me.
Yeah. I mean,
you're not getting it from Bum McDougal or whatever his name is. That guy sucks.
No, and I'm going to state the obvious.
Was it Miles McBride?
Miles McBride,
yeah. I like
Booby McBooberson. He sucks.
And I'm going to state the obvious too. You can't go in there with 15 or more turnovers. Cade has to protect the ball tonight. Yes. I mean, you cannot give the Knicks extra possessions, because that's how you're getting beaten these close games.
Just think how nasty the Pistons are going to look next year with Zion. I just did that to see if the audience is paying attention. That's all.
You don't need Zion.
Yes, you do.
They're going to get Trey Young.
Excuse me? Basically, Tom Thibodeau if he was an NBA player?
Okay. It's not about the hair.
You cannot have a balding superstar. It's the truth.
Kevin Durant?
Yeah, like I said, he's not in the playoffs.
He's got a title.
Not when he was bald.
He had hair then. He had hair.
I think Draymond.
Hey, LeBron's fighting it. Could have gone to Turkey and gotten the plugs.
Now
he didn't.
He's fishing.
Out of the playoffs.
I'm trying to think, is Draymond fighting it?
No, he's just
What
turning.
have they won recently?
He's just turning into a picture you'd see at a museum with a full gray beard of like a guy in 1960. He looks so old.
He's his own statue outside of the arena already.
Like there's like a black and white photo of a politician or something, and you're like, oh my God, is that Draymond Green? Dude, he looks like he's 60. But did you notice he put the hair dye in for the little commercial where the kid throws the ball down the canyon? First thing I'd tell the kid, you need to be a better shooter. I'm not driving down there again. Basketball's over.
He was at the walk to Selma. In the picture next to Martin.
Wow.
James.
I'm sorry.
He was at the walk through Selma.
David.
Was he pointing up on the balcony, David?
David took a whole different direction
Where'd
with
that
that one.
shot come from? There's Draymond over there.
You said black and white politician. I thought immediately. I'm sorry.
David, you took that to a very dark place. Okay. Well, if you like pizza on a lighter note, Hungry Howie's has got you covered. Creators of the original flavored crust, they have all the toppings and the quality you're looking for. Well, the best part for tonight, go ahead, line up a little pizza for the big game tonight. You spend $10 at hungryhowies.com, you get a free medium 2-topping pizza. Any toppings, any flavored crust you want. That's it. That's all. There's no catch. There's like no copious amounts of copy here. It's a limited time offer. So tonight, line up for the big game. Spend $10. Go ahead and know you're getting a medium 2-topping pizza on top of that. Limited time only and only at hungryhowies.com. That's hungryhowies.com. Kenny, please. We'll get some ticket texts. I want to get to more of the calls. We're going to sprinkle in some fun. Obviously, Oaks Derby are right around the corner. And yes, it's horse racing time. But we're going to screw around and have some fun with that. I want to get to the Lions a little bit today, too. But am I being overconfident? Am I speaking the pulse of the people? You tell me. I think it's a guaranteed. I think Pistons win tonight. And the basis for it is, no, I don't think you're going to lose another home game. But I don't think Hart and Brunson are right. I don't think it's play acting at this point. I think that what you saw in Game 5, that injury looked different than, like Rico and I joke around about the Paul Pierce wheelchair. And all of a sudden, Brunson's right back. He didn't come right back.
Yeah, but the fact that when the game was on the line, they went back in tells me he's a robot. And for some reason,
he's a robot.
He'll be fine. I mean, every time he goes down, I'm thinking, man, that just changed the entire course of this. Nope, it didn't. He's back. Okay. And he's scoring.
To the people. But if I'm being overconfident, you can say it. And if I'm simply speaking the word of the gospel, say that too. But look, the reason there's no nerves to me is, okay, if they lost, is there going to be a single person who would say this season was anything other than a spectacular success? No. And on the other side of it, if you win, there's Game 7, where you return to the same principle. Season wouldn't be a failure. And if they win, you're still dead. You're not beating Celtics. So in the end, they've already proven they've come a hell of a long way. They can go toe-to-toe with teams. And we're going to go out. We're going to get a superstar this summer. We're going to be in the East Conference Finals next year. There you go. That's my sappy love story. I'm sticking to it.
Okay. Trae Young.
No male pattern baldness, please. Let's go to Anthony, 97.1. Anth, what's going on, bud?
What up, dude? How y'all doing today?
Good, Anth. What's on your mind?
Hey, last week when I called, you said what was my alibi? I told my wife that I was with my uncle Mike Valente from New York. He would teach me how to make chicken cutlets and
that's right.
How to burn the papers, how to talk with my hands like Will.
Anth, I'm glad you came up with a very creative alibi, because we were worried about you last week. You're like, yeah, I'm going to the store. That's not going to fly.
Yeah. But I think I'll be happy if they won tonight, but I'm just happy that we in the playoffs. It's May, talking about basketball in Detroit.
That's right.
It's been a long time before, like, competitive basketball. But I feel like they got the momentum. I feel like they smell a little blood. Hart is hurt. Brunson is always hurt. And I've seen Cat grabbing his back a few times. But, he looked like he grabbed his back a lot. But we ain't going to talk about that. But there's two players that I would love this offseason. Everybody would love Devin Booker, but I live in the real world. But I would love Miles Bridges and Bobby Portis as acquisitions in the real world. What you think about that, Mike?
Oh, you're getting Rico all excited over. Rico's going to get hot and bothered, Anthony.
No, Anthony, I get what you're saying about Miles Bridges. I think that would be a disaster to bring him back here to Detroit. Too close to home.
You've come around. I'm proud of you.
Too close to the people that he knows. No, he's got potential, but he's somebody you ship out to Utah and he'll be fine because he won't be around his boys. He won't be around his people. Coming back here, that's just a little too close to home.
Yeah, I'm all set. I'm good.
He's got talent, but he also every day we'd be opening up the internet or you're opening up your newspaper to see, did he do anything stupid?
I'm all set. Let's go over to John, 97.1. Johnny, what's going on?
What's up? Good afternoon, guys.
John.
So two things. First, Rico, you made an analogy, or you made a comment that the Knicks weren't taking the Pistons serious, and it's just like how the Lions were when they had lost and no one was taking them serious, and the next season they came out and showed everyone what. So I think that's what the Pistons are doing to the Knicks now. They're showing them that they are serious. So I do think that they're going to win tonight, and they'll win in Game 7. I always said Pistons in 7. And then, Mike, I didn't finish it, but I did start watching Race for the Crown or whatever it's called.
Yeah, on Netflix.
It's in my queue.
What do you think?
I started watching it. I haven't finished it yet. It's really good. It's very interesting.
Yeah, and look, one of the guys they picked, I mean, John, there's a reason they picked the guy, right? It's like Real Housewives of New Jersey. So Mike Ivorone with the no shirt under a blazer, which is just psychotic behavior. But
that's not how the owners dress?
No. It gets, John, I promise, it gets more normal. There's actually a great profile on a small trainer who beat cancer and Larry Demerit. Really emotional stuff there. You'll like it. And Jason Wirth, the former Philly, plays a bigger role later in the show.
I am going to finish it. And the last thing, you guys were talking about players fighting like Balding. Draymond's not fighting. Draymond's not fighting Balding. He's too busy fighting everyone else.
Yes.
He doesn't have time to be fighting Balding.
Yes, and his whole beard is gray. I mean, it's approaching like where I'm at these days, John.
Say, watch yourself.
It's where I'm at.
Okay.
I didn't say you.
Okay.
Listen, you embrace the gray.
Okay. Yeah. I fought it for a while.
You did? I did. I never knew that. Yeah. The deep, dark secrets. I never knew.
It's the beauty of having a family who are barbers and beauticians. So,
wow, good for you. All right. Listen, if you come in here looking like Brian Wilson from the San Francisco Giants, then I'm gonna know.
No,
because
because once you say that's it, enough,
you gotta let it go.
You can't go back
because then you look like George Clooney.
Yes.
What's he doing?
Or yeah.
What is George Clooney doing outside of acting like he's a politician when no one cares about?
I was going to say Kenny Smith, but okay.
No, George. Have you seen Clooney?
No, I haven't seen him lately.
Pull up a picture of George Clooney.
Okay.
No, like now.
I am.
He has darker hair than when he starred in Ocean's 11 15 years ago. It's jet black. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like if Kenny came in and his beard was blonde.
You know what? I guess I saw. You just assume like maybe you're doing it for a movie role, so you just dyed your hair.
He looks like Rudy Giuliani. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Is it dripping down?
David, it's one step.
He'd actually aged gracefully.
That's ridiculous.
Like I said, Kenny Smith. Look, Kenny, seriously. Okay, wow. All of a sudden, the beard just went totally dark.
That's what happens when you date younger chicks.
See, I was going to say that, but I let it go.
That's what he's doing. I mean, it's just facts. It's all out there. Everyone knows. Well, enjoying life. Good for him.
At least she's not interrupting.
Yeah, Belichick seems real happy.
Just,
yikes.
You know what? I'm going to let it go.
Yeah. I'll just say yikes. David, ticket text.
Knicks injuries look real, and Stewart was at shoot-around. If both cases hold up, Pistons win by 20 tonight.
Join me on the Guaranteed bus.
And Stewart's not playing tonight, people. He's not, okay?
You don't know that.
He ain't.
You don't know that.
David is such a cat enthusiast.
Uh-oh.
Come on, man. Believe. I'm sorry. They won't.
Blank Willow.
The Pistons starting five has a net rating of 33.4. If they stay out of foul trouble and limit turnovers, they are going back to the Garden.
You know what else the Pistons need to do is, and I think this is why they win in New York, they don't have to play up for the crowd. They don't have to have that extra bravado. They don't have to show how tough they are and do stupid things and pick up the stupid fouls and give the Knicks extra possessions. When they're in New York, it truly is us versus the world, and they rally. Here, they get to going, they start waving and chest bumping with the crowd, and we got your back, and you end up losing.
Oh, so you're saying Bickerstaff is going to do the challenge again when they're up in the
You know
first
what?
quarter?
I don't like the way you tossed the ball in the air. I want to review.
And by the way, people are responding. Clooney dyed his hair for a role on Broadway.
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
Turn the roll down.
Okay, at least there was
that looks,
rationale.
and second of all, Broadway doesn't count. No one sees it.
You don't go to Broadway shows?
Nobody goes to Broadway shows. What do I look like, Mr. Peanut?
I mean,
who goes to Broadway shows?
Everyone goes to Broadway.
I go to Broadway shows.
Yeah, couples named Edward and Beatrice who live on the Upper East Side. Like no one. Broadway?
I've never gone to actual Broadway. I would like to go and watch a Broadway show once.
Great. Let me spend.
You don't watch shows?
No.
Wow.
Let me spend $5,000 to watch men and women dance around like sprites and tell some stupid story. I'm all set.
What if they got
amazing.
David? What if they got the runner up from the Oaks and got them to participate in the play?
Well, it's actually a race for Phillies. So, yeah, sure.
Would you?
Yes.
No, I'm saying, would you go and get?
Yes. If there were horses running in an oval on the moon, I'd go. Yes.
So we just need to get Mr. Ed's
Did
grandson.
you watch Race for the Crown like you promised me?
It's coming
No,
up.
because you're a scumbag. That's
No.
why.
It's coming up.
David, there's something in the Bible about lying, and he's wrong.
It's not lying. It's not lying until I'm dead.
Northville Lumber. Great segue. Largest Trex decking outlet in the country and Northville, Michigan's Trex Superstore. They stock all colors of Trex decking, railing, lighting. They have it all the time and at the lowest prices. So whether you're a builder or do-it-yourselfer, you can count on Northville to have all the Trex decking you need when you need it. And now's the time. Plan it, build it, get outside and enjoy yourself. And you can even go to Northville's showroom, take home some samples, buy it, build it, and save money while you're doing it. It's Northville Lumber, northvillelumber.com. That's northvillelumber.com. All right, David, what do you got for us? I can't repeat what Rico just said.
Well, the Derby is this weekend, so I want to go through some facts and figures for the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, is this like by the numbers?
Something like that.
All right, go ahead.
I have some questions, some answers. We'll go through some things here.
Sure.
So I'll start with you guys, Rico and Kenny.
4 legs.
How much do you think the entry fee is for the Kentucky Derby?
The entry fee, being that we talk about your show that you like, I got to think that it's, I'll say it's at least $2 million.
$2 million to enter. See, I have no reference level on this. I know as much about horses as you do, Rico. So I'll say
They run very fast.
they're going to go very fast. I'm going to say $5.5 million.
Wait. He asked you
the entry fees.
You think it costs $5.5 million to run a horse in the Kentucky Derby?
I just said I have no reference level.
Can I just say you're wrong and you just try again?
It's too high. Like Price is Right. Too high.
Both of her?
Oh, yes.
Marty Morningwig, the bar is
okay.
Let's try again.
Okay.
$200,000.
I was about to say $250,000.
You're still too high, but you're closer. You're more to reality. The entry fee for the
100,000?
Kentucky Derby is $25,000.
That's it?
And if you enter the gate, then it's another $25,000.
Wait, what do you mean? If you enter the gate?
You can
enter the
get
race,
scratched.
but if you scratch, they keep the $25,000. They don't charge you the other
What kind of
$25,000.
rack pyramid scheme is this?
The economics of horse racing are fugazi. $2 billion in, $1 billion out.
Well, that's what I was
It's
about to
nonsense.
say. Because let's talk about the winning. Yes,
Did
the purse.
the horse union come up with this?
Yeah.
The purse right now.
Head union rep was heard saying
the purse right now is $2 million, and the winner will receive $1.24 million.
that's the other thing people don't know. You only get 60% of that purse as the winner.
What was that?
And
where's the rest go? Taxes?
no, 20% goes to second, 10% goes to third, 5% to fourth, and then everybody else gets a permission slip that says, hey, you tried. But the problem is the Kentucky Derby is the most famous thing in the world. It's for off the track. If you win the Kentucky Derby, you are a guaranteed stallion. Unless you're California Chrome, where you're bred by a cat and a dog.
Because
Sorry.
He didn't get breeding rights?
He cost $8,000 to breed.
No, I'm saying, but after he won, didn't people line up and say, hey,
Buddy, he didn't have the juice. Nobody wanted that.
Rico, I like how me and you out of the gate went Dr. Evil. 1 million, 5.5 million.
Lasers. It's the Kentucky Derby, so I
Right.
figure it's all of these rich people showing out, trying to flex how rich they are.
Okay, well, the only time you get to the amount, I don't know which one of you said $250,000.
Right.
The only time you would get to that amount is for a nomination fee. If it is a last minute
That's right.
entry, then you have to pay a fee of $200,000.
What, the horses behind the velvet rope waiting outside with the
Has
bouncer?
to be nominated.
Like if you didn't qualify and it was
Correct.
a disaster and they didn't have a full field of 20, you could
Is that what
post it.
happened with the horse that won the whole thing that year?
No.
No, it was already in.
Rich Strike earned his way
Yeah.
in, but someone needed to scratch to draw in the race.
So there is a waiting room.
There is. There's a green room. Yes. A green stall. Go ahead.
I'm already
I only want to
amazed.
eat
David,
green.
just keep it moving.
I only want green oats.
Let's go with this. If ever, I don't think this is ever going to happen in history, but if somehow the sport of horse racing just shudders in Kentucky.
You shut your whore mouth.
Kentucky is dead.
It is.
Because it generates $3.1 billion in revenue for the state. Horse racing.
For this weekend.
No, just horse racing.
No, the
period.
industry.
The industry.
Listen.
Now, the
What
weekend.
about bourbon?
It's not even close, man.
Chicken?
Not
weekend.
close.
The weekend will generate about $160 million will be spent.
Oh, my God.
This weekend. Wow.
No,
Really?
you got.
I'm regretting this segment
horses
already.
is the main source of income for that state.
It's the whole ecosystem. Yeah,
It is.
because the tens of thousands of people that work on maintaining farms, the shipping and transportation, the breeding operations, the selling. The farms are in and around Lexington. You're talking 3,000 acre mega farms like Lane's End.
Okay, seriously, I know. I thought it was like bourbon industry and
No,
liquor.
it'd be like Canada without hockey, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that profitable.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was the alcohol.
Oh,
Kentucky.
No. Well, it can be both, but no, without it, Kentucky would be even more hillbilly.
What about the Colonel?
He just moved to Dallas. So we'll see what that happens there. Justify is the first in 136 years to win after not having raced as a 2-year-old. Does that happen a lot?
I think
You
it happened.
have to race.
Do you want me to answer this? You want me to leave it to these
Go
guys?
ahead. Give us a
Didn't
fact.
it happen like once? It was Apollo's Moon or something like that. You just don't win the Derby if you don't run it too. And it was a horse a long, long time ago that had done it. I know I'm butchering the name, but go ahead.
So how do you become a horse? Off serious question. A horse.
Well, Rico, a mommy and daddy horse, bang.
Okay.
It was Apollo, by the way, in
All right.
1882. You're correct.
What was the name?
Apollo in 1882.
Yes.
The horse gravy. Okay.
What?
A
lot of
horse
sex.
is no, a horse can just how do you know that the horse is any good if they don't run?
Listen, a horse can be good, but not all horses can get to the track at 2. It's like that does help, but it's a lot. Think of this. You've got a mercurial talent who's a true freshman on your football team, but he can't stay healthy. He doesn't play until his sophomore year. That's all this is.
Okay.
So sometimes, look, horses.
So the owner just because I guess I thought you had to earn your way into the
do.
Derby, but if you don't run, how do you earn
If
your
you
way
don't
in?
run it too, it shortens the window to what you would need to run and qualify for the Derby. And the idea of qualifying in those races without the foundation you would set it to, it's why it really doesn't happen. But fun note, let me add something. There's a horse in this Derby who's yet to win a race.
Whoa.
Steve Asmussen has publisher. This horse is 0 for 7 lifetime.
Really?
But he's finished second in the right big races to earn the points. So they thought enough of the horse to go screw break in his maiden, throw him in these grade 1s. Publisher's 0 for 7, but he's put almost $500,000 in his piggy bank. He's 30-1 in the Derby Saturday.
So basically, this is horse NIL. We're paying him the money. He's got.
Well, it's like NASCAR.
Basically, publishers like any Michigan State Spartan. You win nothing, but you get paid.
Yeah, like
Horse
NASCAR or
NIL.
IndyCar, when you could, be great in the undercard races, but you.
Publisher is Aiden Giles. Win 0, get money.
Wow. Okay.
Why did Aiden just take us?
Oh, gee, I don't know. 17 fumbles inside the 10 might do it.
Jeez, Mike. Okay.
On that note, we talked about Phillies earlier in the
At least
show.
he gets in the gate.
There have been only 3 Phillies to win the Kentucky Derby. Regret in 1915, Genuine Risk in 1980, and Winning
Philadelphia
Colors in 1988.
Yep, it's really hard to do. It's not advisable, and ultimately, the Preakness is a much easier go. It's a smaller field usually. It's just an easier go of it.
So it's a sexist sport.
No, you know what? Move it along.
I'm going to finish here with facts.
There's just no point.
With facts here regarding the first live
That's
radio
Childs.
broadcast was May 16th, 1925. And then the very first television coverage of the Derby was May 7th, 1949. First national television was 1952 on May 3rd. So it's a long time ago. Probably before we were ever allowed to watch the Kentucky Derby.
Hey, how long has the current announcer been doing it?
Oh, that's a great question.
Well, Durkin retired, 4 years ago, maybe? So what?
Oh, so this is a different and down the stretch.
Yeah. Tom Durkin retired. Okay. He's the best. To me, he's the best ever. But I grew up with him doing Saratoga. Then they had Larry Colmus do it for a few years. Travis Stone has done it. He's the track announcer at CD. I'm indifferent to it. It's not Tom Durkin. I don't care. Honestly, if you're at a Derby party or you're at the Derby, you know what you don't hear? The announcer. It's pandemonium. You just got to watch what the hell you're watching. You ain't going to hear nothing. It's like Trouble with the Snap all game long.
Gotcha.
You hear nothing.
What's the, we got enough time. No, what's
the
the
question?
I guess the biggest bet ever won on the Derby? Like, did somebody put down a $20 million on a horse and won?
They're not taking that bet. No,
they're not?
No. I'll tell you one thing. Wes Welker, the one year he went to the Derby and he was dropping bricks of cash all over the concourse, I think he hit an ice-cold triple. He just picked 3 numbers and they ran first, second, third, and it a ton. Yeah. But, I mean, no, they're not going to book that type of action.
It's not like in Vegas where you got that Mattress Mac guy who says, hey, I want to put this amount of money down.
Somebody will throw $1 million on a horse, but you said 20.
Well, here's just to give you a little bit of that. The track reported in 2017 The most wagered ever. It was $209.2 million that they took out of all the sources there at the track.
But
That's just
not on a
2017.
singular race.
No.
Because here's what
Correct.
happens. Remember, if you place that kind of bet, you just took the odds and threw them in the garbage can and effed yourself. You're not betting the house. You're betting against your fellow man, woman, child, whatever. So the odds, let's say you go to the till and you bet a horse at 5-1 and you threw $20 million through, it'd be 1-9 and they would take it off the board. The odds go based on how the money goes.
And everyone would probably know who you are and they're coming after you. You would have screwed everything.
Yeah, you're not, yeah. You'd need an escort to your car.
Can you take two horses, one
Okay.
that's fast
All right,
and one that's
and that is your Kentucky Derby fact.
My God.
Brought to you by Twin Peaks. The Pistons enter Game 6 with the Knicks at Little Caesars Arena as 2.5-point favorites. Backup big Isaiah Stewart still remains questionable with knee inflammation, but he was seen taking some shots this morning at shoot-around. The seats are lined with Detroit basketball white T-shirts. Hear the game over on WWJ News Radio 950, pregame at 7:05. Knicks head coach Tom Thibodeau has been questioned after not taking a timeout in the last few minutes of Game 5. What does Josh Hart think about that? Michigan State Athletics and A.D. Allen Haller are parting ways. The ex-Spartan football player took over in 2021 for Bill Beekman. School president Kevin Gutzkowitz wants the next boss to be, quote, able to best navigate the changing landscapes of college athletics while working closely with both internal and external stakeholders to move Michigan State forward as a leader among the Power 4 institutions, end quote. The Tigers back on the field this evening in Anaheim. Mike Trout tweaked his knee yesterday, but he does expect to play today for the Angels. Hear the game right here on the ticket at 9:38. Detroit has historically struggled scoring runs in Anaheim. They've been swept 3 of the last 4 series. At the Corwell Health Sports Desk from Little Caesars Arena, I'm Jeremy Otto. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com. Nailed that one.
It's just tremendous. We are complete idiots.
You know,
Welcome.
Sometimes when you have an idea and it comes to fruition, you don't realize it was better than I thought.
It was fantastic. It's totally stupid, but it made me laugh.
We should get Kenny to do this in the Trump voice.
It's fabulous. All right. So real quick, before we get on to more serious topics, can I just, for a moment, since Jeremy Otto brought this up, I do want to take one moment because I think the listeners deserve to know the strength and the fortitude of Rico Beard, because it's not easy being here today. Listen, your bestie dined on the bullet. Alan Haller's no longer the AD. Sit.
I thought my bestie was Harlan Burnett.
Maybe if you cared less about Olympic sports and more about raising money for football, you'd have a job. Kool-Aid.
Olympic sports count the same. Mike.
No, they don't. No one cares. And MSU football is completely irrelevant, and it's on your desk, Alan. So here's my question. Now that he's gone, and we get someone in here who actually understands what the hell to do with NIL, or maybe will actually try, what do you make of this whole thing? Aside from the jokes.
From all the slander.
It's not slander. I know you like Alan.
I do. It's a friend of mine. I would feel the same way, Mike, if something happened to you. I'd feel the same way.
Please tell me. What do you make of all of it? Have I described accurately why he not gonna work here anymore?
Yeah, I think it boiled down to just the whole fundraising thing. He became an athletic director from the wrong time period. Like when he started the job and where college athletes are right now, it's totally different. When he signed up, it was no NIL. It was okay. Let's try to get all the programs to win. Let's hire the right coaches. Well, he got the right coaches. He got him to win, except football, but he only brought this guy in. He's only been there for a year, but he wasn't raising enough money from what I've been told. And that's the problem when you're behind on NIL, when you have so many different NIL programs instead of just one that people can donate to. That's problematic. So,
and when news breaks like this today, as a backdrop to this, by the way, Rico, turn the lights out when you're done with the sport. I left the house years ago. According to reports, Texas is set to spend $35 to $40 million on their football roster this season. MSU's handing out cupcakes for NIL. I mean, here's my question, and I'm being totally sincere when I say this. No smarm.
So this was the horse racing segment. Okay.
Nope. I'm being totally serious. Is MSU football even savable?
It's savable. I mean,
savable to what, though?
I mean, I think it's why they're going the route of a different athletic director, trying to bring in somebody. I mean, you know, he may be bringing in this guy, Bubba Cunningham from North Carolina.
Not that goofball.
I mean, he could be. I mean, that's his guy. So, you know, he's not a big fan of the whole Belichick thing. And looking at his contract, he only has to give North Carolina a notice of 120 days that he wants to leave. So kind of coincides to when football season would start for MSU. But you have to bring in somebody who can do that. Mike, that's Texas. That's oil money. There's just certain – can MSU be saved? Yes. But, Mike, all NIL did was just pull back the curtain. This type of money has been spent at certain schools since we've known.
Okay.
Texas was buying cars. SMU was buying Eric Dickerson cars, all types of things.
Yeah, what were we doing?
What I'm saying, and what did SMU win?
A lot.
According to you, if you don't win it all, you didn't win nothing.
There wasn't even a playoff back then.
No, but it was a championship.
Okay, fine.
No, what I'm saying is certain schools will always have more money than you.
Yeah, but why hold on. This is what I love. I got to, David, forgive me. I got to do this. Like, I get so tired of hearing this Little Sisters of the Poor crap.
It's not Little Sisters of the Poor,
How many
Mike.
billionaires do we have who are graduates?
Mike.
And why do none invest heavily in football?
It's not that. It's like, it's certain, like Alabama. They love their football. They've always loved their football. It's the only thing in the state, and they will invest everything
Clearly,
they have.
they don't even
in
have
it.
teeth, but they'll pay the football team.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's how it goes. There are certain schools that are just born on third base. They got the silver spoon in their mouth.
Well, where are we? What are we, at the orphanage?
Michigan State's not that, Mike.
What are we then?
They've never been that. That's why I'm like so shocked that you're shocked.
Because
They've
you
never
can spend
been
your
that.
way to success. You're top 15 in revenue. You're top 15 in attendance. There's a disconnect here
Right.
for me.
You can go top 15. Doesn't mean you're going to match Texas at 40 million.
Fine, I don't need to. Can I get to 25?
Yeah. According to this new thing, yes. The schools will now have, 23 million to spend.
Sorry, go ahead. Kenny, I know you like pillow fights, or David. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take up the oxygen.
No, I mean, it just always amazes me. Like, Mike, they have never been the big spender. They have never been the top dog in the state.
Because they're a Mickey Mouse operation. That's why. They are their own self-limiter. It's like when you buy a rental truck. It has a governor on it. You can't go faster than 70. Right. MSU's governor has been their own dim-wittedness.
So back in the day, I guess they didn't want to go the whole, we're just going to pay people under the table cheating route.
Yeah, they're stupid. I mean, that's just reality. If it's as pervasive as you're saying and you choose not to do it, then you know what? Maybe we won the Integrity Conference National Championship. The whole point is if everyone is spending now and we got more billionaires than most schools have, how do we not get any of them to spend on football?
Mike, I think that's what you have, and I think that they just did. They invested in a whole bunch of stuff that you don't care about.
No, because you don't. Just give me this at least. Nobody cares about. It's not a Mike thing.
They just upgraded the football, the practice facility, and they're upgrading the stadium. But once again, it's not enough for you.
It's not.
Nothing is ever enough for you.
No, because they're garbage. They don't even power wash the stadium.
Why does it matter?
Because I'm tired of them just being such a Mickey Mouse lemonade stand.
Okay,
get it right.
Then in the words of Kendrick Lamar, Mike, turn the TV off.
See, here's the thing.
I have. That's the whole point.
Here's the thing, because I think Michigan, and I think this is what people just want. Michigan finally did something that I thought they would never do. And
Cheat their asses off?
I'm not talking about that.
My bad. Sorry.
I'm talking about the Underwood thing. They did. I thought they would never do something like that. I don't need them to spend 35 to 40 million, but at least I was like, okay. Now we're at least trying. It may not work, but they're putting something towards getting a roster. And I think that's what Michigan State fans want. Just try.
David, because when it boils down to it, and this is what frustrates Mike, I know this, we've had private conversations. Haller was more of a, I represent every sport, AD. Ward Manuel is I really only got one sport, and who are you guys again? You coach what? Did I hire you? Or were you the other guy? No, seriously, that's what it is.
You're right.
You're exactly right.
So if the next athletic director comes in and says, I got to make football top dog, because when football is top dog, everything else falls into place.
More kids apply to the school. You could charge more money. It's the best brand identity you have.
So that's why I'm not mad at you, Mike. It's just you have to have an athletic director like Warden Manuel who just says, la, I can't hear you other programs. I'm only going to Michigan games. I'm at Harbaugh's beck and call. I will do whatever he wants me to do. I will fall on any sword.
I'll give you a case in point. Oh, but Alan Heller, MSU's got the best hockey program in America. Hey, right here. Nobody cares.
And that's just it, Mike.
You could knock down Munn. I wouldn't care.
There are people like you who don't care, and then there's others who take pride in this stuff. But what you need to be successful, if your football program is not competing for a college football playoff, you are deemed an irrelevant program.
Right. And here's the problem. When I see, now no jokes about, MSU's got a transfer from Hope College. No, leave all that to the side. You have got a situation where you're seeing broke bleep schools building $800 million stadiums. MSU can't think to power wash the dump.
Dude, they're renovating the whole thing, Mike.
Where?
They're doing it right now.
No, they're not. They're doing a scoreboard replacement.
And other things.
What's the other things, Rico?
You'll see.
No. That's part of the 2050 plan that's never going to come to fruition. Ever.
Okay.
Ever.
Ever. Okay.
We're never winning the Big Ten again. Ever.
Ever. Okay.
It's ever right now.
It's ever?
For me.
Mike.
Right now, do you know how many games they're favored in next year? I know Vegas doesn't decide everything. Do you know how many games they're favored in?
5.5.
How many Big Ten games are they favored in?
I'm going to say 3, 2.
Yeah. Right here. 248-539-9797.
What happens if they go out and pull the Indiana? Then what?
Be amazing.
But then you'll still find what
They're
to complain
not
about.
doing that.
No, I mean, it'd be amazing.
David, I'm just saying, what would you then complain about?
Nothing. I'd be happy. There's happiness or misery. There's really no in between.
It's like to be happy.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That was a wonderful weekend for you, wasn't it?
What a 7 minutes. All right, we'll move it along. I'm sorry, but I figured why not? We'll do one segment to address it. Yeah, Jeremy Otto.
You're not wrong. If football is good, everything else falls in place. Look at Michigan. You could have scandal. You could do whatever you want, and no one cares because your team won.
Yeah, it's just the world we live in. All right.
So I'm not mad at you.
No, I know that. That's okay.
You're mad at me, but I'm not mad at you.
I'm not mad at Okay. You know what? We're moving on. I'll do the Lions thing next. We'll get ticket text as well. I just wanted one segment on that. If you want Pistons, Odyssey.com rewind. We're going to get back into that as well. All right, guys. The weather has us all ready to get out and get going on road trips right now. GM employees and immediate family members lease a 25 Buick Encore GX Preferred, $199 a month, or a 25 Sierra Elevation Edition, $298 a month, and everyone gets employee pricing. Both 24 months, both low mileage leases, $999 down, new stock arriving daily. You can check all of it, MoranExpress.com. They'll have what you're looking for. Go to MoranExpress.com, and at Moran Buick GMC, you always get the best price, period. It's on Telegraph, just north of Eureka and Taylor, or at MoranExpress.com. It's Moran Buick GMC. We are professional grade. So we're getting a ton of feedback. We can knock down a call or two and we'll go to it. It was in the update. I know it wasn't a part of our game script, but Alan Haller's out at Michigan State. I'm fine with it because I wasn't a fan of the guy. And if you're not into NIL and you're not into winning a national championship, then I don't need you. And I think my program is dead. So it's just like, yeah, you shouldn't have a job. If your football program's dead, you should not be employed as an AD. End. This is just a full stop deal. For me, I do not care about the other sports. It's basketball and football. That's it.
Ironically enough, the other sports, all flourishing.
Yeah, and no one cares. Has anyone ever thought less of MSU's brand than right now from an athletic standpoint? Nope. Not making Final Fours, and the football team gets hurt sitting on the toilet.
No, because I think the basketball team helped it. Yes, they didn't make the Final Four, Mike, but they went from poverty school who had Frankie Fiddler to Elite Eight.
Does anyone outside of the state of Michigan know MSU has a hockey team? No, only nerds like Kenny. David,
Kenny doesn't even watch it.
That's true. That tells you how bad it is.
Because I asked Kenny, how much college hockey? And he was like, none.
No one cares.
Yeah, no one cares about college hockey.
We're getting a lot of feedback. Go ahead.
Yeah, college football is forever tarnished and ruined. Gone are the glory days for us viewers and fans. Someone else says MSU can't be defended. It's not good right now, and it's okay to say that. Needs to be fixed. Treating all sports the same is
hold on. I wasn't defending it. I'm saying that you have to have an athletic director who comes in there and is just cutthroat and says, like David, like your boy Ward. And it's think about this. The scandals and everything that's gone on through Michigan, from hiring a coach and firing him 2 days later, to FBI agents coming in raiding the joint, to all the smoke and the cloud and a coach sitting in Central Michigan costume jerseys, a kid driving your wife's car and wrecks it, and you know what he got rewarded with? How about we make you the president of the College Football Playoff Committee? Because your team won. But he knows it's all about football. Michigan embraced it. They didn't for a long time, and once they did, everything took off. Now you got a quarterback who's never played, making a ton of money. So if you get that type of person, you can have that. But it's going to take this next athletic director to just go all in and say, guys, I don't really care about these other sports. Great. Women's volleyball. That's great. Maybe I'll make a game. Maybe I won't. Don't take it personal.
Yeah, or shut the program down. That's my first move.
You can't do that.
I can do whatever I want. SEC schools do. Why can't I? I'd have like 12 sports.
Look, you're either a serious football program or you're not.
Say it again for the people in the back.
You're either a serious football program or you're not.
Now say it in your imitation. I'm only kidding.
I'm not your clown. I'm not your wind-up toy. What are we doing here?
I'm kidding.
Come on, bang the cymbals.
No. Go
Big
ahead.
pillow fight, the biggest pillow.
No, stop. Go ahead. No, but that's
large pillows.
Okay, that's what the playoff has done. So for me, yeah, if they're not serious, why care?
It really is college sports more than football.
No.
Why is MSU athletics blowing over $150 million on non-revenue sport construction stuff? It makes no sense.
Your guess is
While
good as mine.
Football program is a disaster, they say.
It's like when billionaires donate money and it's to art museum. I'm like, just light it on fire. What's the point?
What about the people who appreciate art?
They're nerds. 248-539-9797. We care about a football program. And
people care about other than just football.
Yeah, I got something that could fill the museum. Because it's the only thing MSU's football's got, memories. There ain't going to be no new ones made. Let's go to Brian in Detroit. We'll move on. Brian, go ahead.
Hey, Mike, you're killing my dream, man. I swear you are.
What happened?
You know, my grandson just signed with MSU, okay, to play football. And I really didn't want him to go there. I want him to go somewhere else. And for Rico saying what they doing, but not saying what are they doing, and he told me something yesterday about the NIL. This didn't sound right. You totally right. You're killing the dream, Mike.
No, Brian, look, we got to separate worlds. First things first, your grandchild is in a 0.001% of kids who earn a scholarship to college to play any sport. The fact that your grandkid is good enough to play in the Big Ten, you can add another zero to it. And then thank God your kid's not going to Purdue. So just add another zero right there.
And Brian, here's the thing. It can be fixed. You just have to have somebody who wants to come in and get it fixed. And this is probably, if MSU is smart, you got to go and get an outsider who has no politics, no ties to the school, who could just go through and say, nope, you're fired. I'm moving on. We're going to do this.
Well, you better believe we do have a plan. I told him 4-star, Orchard Lake St. Mary's. He's a good ball player. Only 3-time champion, state champion in the state of Michigan. I don't know no other kid have done that. He won 3 state championships. So we do have a plan. If it don't work out this year, we had to open the books and go somewhere else. I'm just being real with it because
Brian,
I think he deserves more.
Listen, Brian, and look, and
I think I know who his kid is now.
Okay, well,
his grandson.
It's not important, Brian, and you understand. Look, I can be real with you on this. I am from a bygone era where if you commit to a place and there is not immediate gratification, or if something goes wrong, you don't dovetail because that's not real life. However, I understand the time we're living in now, which is that's the name of the game. You roll in, you don't like your 8 to 12 months, someone else cuts you a check, and away you go. Brian, it's why guys like me don't love the sport anymore, buddy. I can't be serious about it. No, you do, Brian,
you got to play the game while the game is out there.
That's right.
You get lost in it.
And for a lot of players,
it's not fair, but it is what it is.
For a lot of players, this is the most money they will ever earn athletically. Because Brian, I'd like to think you sound like a very sensible man. You know the NFL is a long way away. So it's the idea you got to earn the money while you can. I don't begrudge your grandchild. It's just the whole situation's effed. But good luck, and I hope he has a good time, and I hope he sticks around. I don't know who he is. I just care if he can play.
He's pretty good.
Up now, by the way, Brian, we got artisanal pretzels outside of Section 8. That's part of the renovation. Yes.
I do have a question. You know what? I'm not even going to waste my time.
That was for your horse question 30
I'm
minutes
not even
ago.
going to waste my time.
Just ask.
And that's when I realized, you know what?
Ask. I'm treating you with sincerity. Ask me.
At what point, what is it that they can do outside of winning a national title that you would say, you know what? Good job. Give them the golf clap.
Blow the stadium up, make a very public commitment to like a massive fundraising drive, $25-30 million a year on players, and show us you're trying to make the playoff and be real. Bidding wars, real transfers.
Or build a new stadium.
Or a deep renovation of that dump. And I'm not talking about paint and power washing. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No. Mike, I asked the question.
It would have to be something akin to what Texas A&M did a decade ago.
Okay.
With the redevelopment of Kyle Field. The place is dumb.
Didn't they tear half the stadium apart and then rebuilt the other half?
Jonathan Smith should know what it's like. Oregon State is a better stadium than we do.
They just redid it, the whole stadium.
Reser Stadium. Yeah. Reyser. I'm a loser. They blew up half the stadium one year, blew up the other half the next.
As usual, everybody calm down.
I know.
I'm just asked a question.
I'm flustered.
Asked a question.
Flustered.
Imagine if you actually cared.
I know. Used to be my favorite. I think I'm frustrated because I don't. And it's like a sick game I play.
Bruh, for somebody who
I know.
I don't care. And then
I'm really
like pulling the pin sometimes.
I know. I'm self-loathing because I hate myself because I don't care. And I'm more upset because I don't care anymore because I used to care. I used to love it.
And then it's their fault for you not caring and being upset that you don't care.
Yes, it makes me hate them.
David, it's like Fight Club, just watching him punch himself in the face in the parking lot.
Yes, exactly that. Yes. We will get to more relevant topics next. I apologize to everybody. Rico, go ahead. 97.1. Okay. If you want Pistons conversation, we did the first hour on it. We are going to get back into it. They're winning tonight. Odyssey.com rewind. Guys, you can blame the entire 3 o'clock on me. I'm hijacking this entire thing. I'm the captain now. Listen, I have an update for you. Once again, Bill, if you're okay, blink twice. The updates coming from the Bill Belichick, Jordan Hudson, CBS interview on Sunday are getting worse by the day, to the point where you go, is he even going to coach a single game at North Carolina? This report today is so mind-blowing. It's so crazy because, remember, Bill Belichick has always been a complete control freak. The best coach in the history of football, a tactician, a detail-oriented power monger. And he has been turned into Ray Liotta at the end of Hannibal. Ready for this? Oh boy. Here's why Hard Knocks didn't happen at North Carolina. Oh boy.
Let me get ready for
I don't know if I'm ready for this.
I mean, his reputation is just getting tarnished by the second.
Bill Belichick's 24-year-old girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, quote, demanded to be an executive producer on the now scrapped season of Hard Knocks, according to sources. An insider familiar with NFL films said the 24-year-old former cheerleader wanted to see dailies of the proposed show and told executives, quote, to treat her with respect or they wouldn't get to use the coach's IP, intellectual property. The source added, of the power play by Hudson, the Hard Knocks people were like, yeah, we're not dealing with this, goodbye, and walked away, close quote.
Who you?
Who dis? Sorry, it's not like you're Priscilla Presley, said the insider of the move. Last month it was reported Hudson's company, Trouble Cub Enterprises, filed for 14 trademarks with the Federal Trademark Office. Now, what would she be filing trademarks for? Former cheerleader, 24. You don't really have a career, per se. Oh, here's the trademark she was filing for. Sayings like, do your job, ignore the noise. Bill's version, inspired apparently by Taylor Swift re-releasing her own music, the report said. Meanwhile, the Hard Knocks breakdown comes after the New York Times and The Athletic reported on Wednesday the production on the planned series for Belichick was halted in March due to Hudson's alleged, quote, request to be heavily involved in the project. What is going on? What is happening?
Bruh, it's like watching a white Will Smith. I have no idea. It's just, come on. Seriously.
Even Jerry Falwell's embarrassed. I mean, does Bill functionally have a spine anymore?
Mike, I don't understand those types of relationships where all of a sudden that guy that you grew up watching, and it's like, I don't know who you are anymore.
He's 73. She's 24.
Okay, right then
I'm
and there.
worried this man's a hostage. What is this?
Right then and there, I'm like, wait, and you're going to continue this relationship? Okay. Wow. I mean, I don't know how you do something like that. When
Does
the
he
person
coach
is
at North Carolina?
A
Long
year.
way between now and September.
A year.
No, he doesn't.
I think it's David. I think at this point you're kind of stuck. It'll be a year.
Did you see her storming up and down the practice field?
But
like she owned the place?
Right. And what I'm saying is before the year is up, he'll probably either get fired or they're just going to be like, we're going to pull the plug on this and we got to find a new coach immediately. Because this.
You see Bill's, I don't want to misspeak. Might have been his daughter-in-law. I think it's Steve Belichick's wife, okay? Yes, the guy who made all the funny faces on TV. But Steve Belichick's wife apparently has commented about all this and dropped a bomb on her. Oh, Thanksgiving's going to be a scene at the Belichick compound.
Bruh, your girl is younger than your children. That in and of itself
and
is awkward.
You're acting like Ray Liotta at the end of Hannibal. What is this?
He's not going to coach. Remember the one detail we talked about when his contract came out for UNC? After June 1st, his buyout is only $1 million. He is not going to coach there this year.
I'm waiting for the report. Jordan Hudson wants to call the first play of each half. I mean, we're one step from it.
Hey, let's bring this whole 3 o'clock full circle. Maybe that's why you get their AD. He's like, I don't want to put up with this. I want to join my boy at MSU.
But he doesn't have to put up with it. June 2nd. Bye-bye, Bill.
Or I'll leave and you can have Bill.
That's true. That's possible, but
because
this is wild.
Because even if you change coaches right now, it's unfair to those young men.
And I know that part of it is the
because
part I'm
they came
just
to the
ignoring.
school to be coached by Bill Belichick, and it's the ultimate bait and switch. The portal is closed, and we're kind of stuck here. Now that's one time where the portal should be open.
No,
and you
it
should be
could
able
open.
to leave.
Coach leaves. It opens.
Right, but at this point, everybody's
Your
got
roster
their scholarship
spots.
players.
You're right.
All the money's gone. So now you got to play for the love of the game because Bill Belichick, well, actually, his girlfriend kind of screwed you over.
So they're stuck for a year.
I know this sounds insane because the man has been in, I believe, 10 Super Bowls, and he's bar none the greatest football coach in the history of football. It's him and John Madden, right? Those would be the two. You want to add Bill Walsh in there? I don't know. The point is, the only thing I feel, I'm embarrassed for him. It's pathetic. This is the most stupid, pathetic thing I've ever seen. You are a 73-year-old man. Act like it. To have this 24-year-old ill-qualified to run a lemonade stand, much less a business of yours. She might be able to run a business of hers. Running your business? I'm sorry. What media training do you have? Are you in PR?
This reminds me of the V Stiviana and the Clippers guy.
Oh, dear God. Donald Sterling.
But doesn't this sound like that?
But I need a fashion visor. You give me the fashion visor, we're going to look at this a whole different way.
How about just a runway walk up and down the sideline?
I'm going to tell you right
now. She comes out. Wait,
don't laugh.
She comes out before the team does.
Don't laugh.
To her own walkout music.
I'm going to say this. And if you guys think this is a bridge too far, tell me. Go, Mike. You're just being Mike. Stop it. Is it fair to say you could question whether anybody at North Carolina has a shred of respect for him before he's ever coached his first game?
No, that's not a bridge too far, Mike.
May 1st, and I'm saying that, and I don't feel bad saying it.
No, this is one where they're going to hold. Well, those who don't feel that way are holding reservations, saying we better be damn good on the field to put up with this sideshow circus. We better win the ACC, or at least we're in Charlotte playing for the title game. Because other than that, that's why I said he'll get 1 year. This was an utter and complete failure. We're going to pull the plug, give him his $1 million, and we're going to act like this year was a dream. That's all it was. That season in Dallas. Everything's a dream. Nothing mattered.
248-539-9797. All right, M43 New England IPA from Old Nation Brewing Company, brewed right down the road in Williamston. And you should know it. It's their most famous beer, their most award-winning beer, and it put them on the map. They now have a special limited release, the Orange Creamsicle M43. Get it before it's gone. Whenever they drop this, it sells out and fast. Perfect beer. Say welcome to the warmer days. Sold wherever great beer is found. You can visit oldnationbrewing.com. Find a retailer near you. Support local. Support independent. 21 and up. Old Nation Brewing Company reminds you to please drink responsibly.